Okay.
Okay.
I won't lie, dude. This coffee caramel, pretty fire.
Caramel coffee?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The coffee caramel. Caramel.
It's good?
I was thinking Spanish, where they do the adjective after the noun.
Café con caramel.
Nailed it. Or I think cafe de
Day.
caramel.
Wait, okay.
Because
so,
con means with,
right.
but like day is like.
Of.
Or, actually, no, because that would be more ownership. So like, cafe caramel would be it.
That's it.
Yeah. Like, if I'm saying the red dog, like Clifford,
Yeah.
I'll say Perro Rojo.
Just the red dog.
Yeah.
Because the dog is red.
Yeah. Not Perro de Rojo, the dog of red.
Or Perro con rojo, the dog with some
With
red on
red.
it.
Right.
Yeah. Mark taught me something. I asked him after we went to Mexico, obviously, because I'm dumb. But I was like, bro, we were in Mexico recently, and, you know, we've been hanging out for a while. I'm used to saying Poppy. What's up, Poppy?
Oh.
And I was like, when we got to Mexico, I was like excited to use that, but I was like, I feel like it's slangy, and I don't want to say it to the wrong person. I assumed I shouldn't say it to like someone who's older than me. And he was like, yeah, that's true. He's like, yeah, don't say it to someone older, but like anyone your age or younger, you can say Poppy. He's like, what you should say is if someone's name is like, I don't know, Marcio, Don Marcio. Like put Don in front of it. It means like boss man.
That's cool.
I was like, oh, that's good. All right, next time I go back to Mexico, I'm using it.
Doesn't work for us though.
No.
Don Devin. It's like,
Don
okay,
Devin.
what are you fucking Mark?
Yeah. What?
Don CLAS. Don CLAS is kind of cool.
Don CLAS is kind of cool.
But you have to have like Marcio.
Yeah.
Or my pops, like Pantaleon.
Yeah.
Don Pantaleon.
Yeah.
That's fire.
That's cool.
Sounds like a king.
When in my first tag team with Nate and I,
Yeah.
when I like brainwashed him to become this Imperial German soldier.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
We don't talk enough about that. Probably for good reason.
There are some awesome vignettes on Facebook if you scroll way back in the class files. Some wild vignettes. A lot of fun. But he would always then after that point call me Air Doctor. Air Doctor.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
Air Doctor.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah. Alright, should we record?
We are recording.
Let's go!
So,
how about that for an intro?
3 minutes in. Good start. Hot start. Welcome. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I had to burp. Oh, yeah.
Gorilla Mind.
Burp, 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 burp.
Bo-bo.
One day, we'll be able to say brought to you by. And then it'll be welcome to. Oh, no, actually. It'll be welcome to the Pretty City Podcast. Brought to you by. Oh, fuck.
Gorilla Mind.
Yeah.
It will be just like, look, when we get sponsored by Gorilla Mind, we're going to pull that clip. Like, hey, guys, we've been ready for this for years.
We gotcha.
It's right here.
Yeah. It's going all over me. Welcome to the Pretty City Podcast, the hottest of starts. It is. Well, before I introduce the time, let me introduce myself. My name is Devin and CLAS. I am a surgical tech, surgical assistant, physique and performance coach, lover of animals. I am one half of the Pretty City Express, which leads me to, most importantly, but least successfully, being a independent wrestler. Bookended by my name again, Devin Reno here. Joined by
Don CLAS, Air Doctor. Christopher Landon Anthony Streeter, also known as Don CLAS. I like that.
It's cool.
It's pretty cool.
It is cool.
Next time I see Mark, I'm going to be like, what's up, Poppy? Don Poppy. Or Don CLAS.
Don Poppy. Don Poppy CLAS.
All right. Don Poppy CLAS. See? I'm lost in the sauce. I'm CLAS.
Just CLAS. If you know me, I'm just CLAS.
If we wish each other happy birthday, you can call me CLAS.
That's a good... Oh, I like that
Yeah.
differentiator.
Yeah.
Do we text once a year minimum.
Minimum, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be
Also,
cool.
okay if it's maximum. But at least once a year.
That's a very Devin thing of you to say. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. It's getting worse.
Yeah.
I am a psychologist, doctor, one and the same. And the other half of the greatest tag team in the history of the world, the Pretty City Express, which also then by default makes me a independent professional wrestler.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
Pretty successful tonight. Merch money. We were good guys.
Yep.
We had to sell some merch. People liked us.
They loved us.
Some a little too much.
Some a little too much.
Legitimately, maybe hands to yourself. Just saying. I had a older lady who was very handsy and vocal as well.
Yes.
So laugh that right off.
Pop.
And so today first of all, we are on the way back from Albuquerque, and it is not bad actually. It's 12 in the morning. However, there's a reason for this delusion, and it's how chaotic of a travel day we've had. Today, outside the square circle, not our day.
Not our day.
We recognized that at 9 in the morning.
Yeah, 9:30. We were confronted with that.
Yep. And since then, it's been, how are we going to survive?
Yep.
And just go on about our day.
There was a point where we almost went on about our day right back home.
I cannot believe we said that. Yeah. We legitimately both agreed. If one more thing happens on that trip to Albuquerque, we were just going to not make it. And we were going to turn our butts right around and go home.
Yeah.
But we didn't have to do that.
No.
Instead, we showed up at NWA New Mexico, Duke City Championship Wrestling, and wrestled La Migra, which is a crazy statement, and lost, which is crazy. They cheated with the help of Papa Joe.
Kazana.
What are we doing here? Use the book?
Not a country gentleman in my book.
No. Not a gentleman of any sorts of nation.
Nation? What?
I don't know.
All
Country. I couldn't think of it.
Yeah. Nice. What's the opposite of a gentleman?
A scoundrel.
That's what I was thinking, bro. Nice.
I've never said that word in my life.
But
It would have to be, right?
It would have to be a scoundrel. That's the perfect antithesis.
What a scoundrel that Papa Joe is. So yeah, we lost. We made some merch money.
Yeah.
So good times. Fans loved us.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was really cool.
Only the second time ever I think we've been cheered.
Yeah.
And holy hell, were they into it.
They were very into it.
So great night inside the squared circle.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fun. We kind of talked about this. Like, it almost felt like talking with them before the show at merch and afterwards that they've just been looking for an excuse to cheer us.
Yeah.
Which is cool because, I don't know, it's like a feather in our cap. Like, the fact that we got heat for that long, 2 years, and then instantly they're just like, hell yeah, these are our guys. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's validating in a weird way, but not like, oh, they like us now. It's just, oh, like, these fans enjoy when we're out there, and that means a lot.
Yeah.
And that comes with the other side too, where we get heat, and it's like, oh yeah, we freaking nailed that. But it's a different sense of accomplishment, I think, and togetherness, as corny as that sounds.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, these are our people. Like, we represent these people, and that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and we felt very supported by them for a number of different reasons. Like a lot of people saw that we had a couple matches on NWA Power.
Yeah.
And like more people than we thought would, came up to us and were very happy and congratulatory, and that was like a big surprise and something that was really cool to kind of experience.
Yeah.
You know?
It's weird thinking about it now. I didn't think, but like, these people are on the ride from the beginning.
Yeah.
So whatever happens in the future, which there's going to be some crazy big things in the future, it's cool to hear the first semblance of that.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, our guys, they're doing it, you know? Like, that's
the
really
thing,
cool.
Our guys.
Yes.
That's the cool part, yeah.
Yeah.
It really feels like and not in a bad way at all, but it's like an ownership, like, yeah, those are our guys.
Yes.
Like, we have a relation, even if we don't, like, know them personally, we have a relationship with them.
Yeah.
They're our guys, which is really cool.
Really, really cool. And we're just so grateful for that.
Yeah.
It's fun. But yeah, so that was tonight.
That's the good parts.
How was, are we going to talk about the travel?
Oh, you have to.
Yeah, I guess so. So, speaking of hot starts,
Uh-huh.
I guess I can start with the mics. I forgot the mics.
Forgot
I should have known then. So I woke up, I drank some coffee, I did some check-ins for my online clients, I packed up, I packed my meals, get in the car, I'm feeling good. I'm early, dude.
Beautiful
Early.
morning in Arizona.
Beautiful.
75 degrees.
Windows
sunny.
down, music at a moderate to high volume.
Love it.
Enjoying my day and proud of myself because I'm going to get there. I went to the bank.
This morning?
Yeah. I had to deposit some merch money and I was like, I have time today.
Yeah.
So I did that and really feeling like a grown man. Like if Jurassic World was here, I wouldn't go on that ride because I'm a grown man and I don't have to. I don't got to be wet. I don't have to walk around wet.
You don't
So,
like being wet.
yeah, no, don't like it.
Water slides, Jurassic World.
I'm a land-based animal. I like being dry. I like being on time. And I was all of these things. I gassed up at QT. And then I went, oh my God, I don't have the mics. So I had to turn my happy ass around. I text class and I went, hey, by the way, I'm going to be late. I have to go back and get the mics. And then I had to text you again and go, hey, by the way, I'm not going to be late because I left so early.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to be late. I forgot the mics. No problem. Let me know what your ETA is. Oh, I didn't account for traffic. Or for there not being traffic.
Right.
It's 8:02, so I said, oh, so on time. So we were going to meet at 8.
And then I text you at 8 on the dot.
Yep.
Here.
Yep, exactly. And walked out. And, all right, we're going.
So, slight speed bump, but you can't stop the Pretty City Express.
Can't stop, won't stop.
So we thought. And then we got to Payson.
So let me jump in and give something that I was feeling really excited about this morning.
Yep.
Maybe we've talked about this on the podcast here, but my bladder is the size of a small goldfish's, and so this trip in particular, by the time we get to our stops, and you better believe we have our stops locked in on this trip, it's time for me to pee. And so today, like, I had my warm lemon water first thing in the morning.
Nice.
Had a little bit of water, but not much because I knew I wanted to space it out well.
Smart.
And I was feeling in a really good place. We got to Payson, no problem, good to go. And I was ready to rock in the next stop, which goes Payson to Holbrook, which is about an hour and 45 minutes. I was good, feeling great when we started. And then what happened?
And then we just stop.
Yeah.
There's just a line of cars on the highway. And this highway, usually you just kind of like, I don't know, drive the whole time because there's no stoplights. Not this time. They were just stopped.
Yep.
And we didn't know why. And then we found out there was an accident. So our ETA bumped up about 45 minutes.
Yep.
It went up like past an hour.
Yep.
And then it went to 45 minutes,
Yep.
which is cool. Oh yeah, by the way, we were going to be an hour early to the show.
Yep.
An hour early.
An hour early from call time.
How professional.
Yeah.
What is this? Our first day? Are we students? Yeah, damn right. An hour early. That's how it's done, kids. And then we stopped, and we were there. There was one part of it, though. It was beautiful weather in Payson, thank God.
Oh, it was so nice with the windows down.
Yeah, windows
You could,
down.
Like, smell the forest.
Oh, yeah. There was that part where we were, like, right in the shade on that tree, and it was just
yeah.
perfect.
Well, that was the thing is, like, it was one of those deals where there was one lane open, so they had, like, the brothers and her sisters with, like, the stop and slow sign. It felt like the cars coming the other way were getting let out forever, and then they would let, like, 12 cars in our row go.
Definitely biased.
Definitely biased towards the northbound traffic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were just, I mean, stop, go. A lot of stop, very minimal go until we broke through.
And then finally we broke through.
Yep.
And we're just cruising along.
Killed our vibe a little bit.
Oh, dude,
right?
Yeah. No yawns. No yawns before that. And then after that, all the yawns.
Yep.
Just energy down.
Yep.
We had great conversation this morning.
Yep.
And it was just like, oh, today's one of those.
And it was like right out of Payson. So like that hour and 40 minutes to our next stop, this was like less than 10 minutes out of Payson.
Yeah.
So right at the beginning. Vibes are good, weather's great, gonna be early, and then just hit a brick wall.
And then we're driving.
Yep.
Make it to the interstate.
Yep. Hit our stop.
Doing great.
Yep.
And for some freaking reason, my phone's like, hey, turn around. Like, what do you mean turn around? We're on an interstate. That's not quite how these work. And it's like, no, it's closed. You have to turn around. And I go, I don't know if I believe you, but we have a mile to decide if we're going to turn around or we're going to risk it.
Uh-huh.
Well, we had just been stopped forever. And my phone has never done this before.
Yep.
Where it goes, trust me, dog, turn around. I go, okay, fine. It didn't even ask if I wanted to reroute. It just goes, hey, you're turning around. I hope you know that. I go, okay, fine.
Confirmed on mine as well.
Bossy ass. So I turn around, and then it goes, go down this road 7 miles and take a right.
It's like a frontage road off the interstate.
Yeah. Whatever, dude. I'll do it. We're just driving down the road, and it just stops.
Yep.
The road itself has stopped. So not only are cars on the road stopped, the road is stopped.
Yep.
It just goes, nah. And the GPS goes, yeah, keep going.
But the road is very clearly closed and marked as such.
And we're not going to Michael Scott and Dwight it.
Yeah.
Or we end up in the river.
Yeah.
So I don't know where this thing's, it says road closed. I'm going to trust it. Somebody put it there. So we have to turn around, go back on the interstate, going the opposite way back towards home. And this is where we're really thinking about it. It's like we're already headed back.
Yep.
And then that takes us another 8 miles to Route 66. And then we go through this beautiful Red Rock Park, to be fair.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful out.
Very nice.
And went through like these little towns. Found nothing, to be honest. But there's little towns.
Yeah, some little towns.
Back on the interstate. About 20 miles later.
Yeah.
And then we were good for the rest of the day.
Well, not
Oh,
quite.
no, we weren't. Yeah.
We thought we were done taking heat,
No,
but they
tell 'em.
fucking laid it on
Big
us.
heat. Little Hope spot, big
Big
heat.
heat. So we get back on the interstate. We drive for like 30 minutes. We're at our last Maverick stop. About an hour out of Albuquerque.
Our
Go ahead.
ETA is now an hour after the show starts.
Or after the
Oh, sorry.
After
yeah.
the meeting.
After
call time. Yeah.
So let's do some math, okay?
Yeah.
1 hour before call time to 1 hour after. 2 hours extra.
2 hours.
Do you know how many other cool places we could have gone in 8 hours besides Albuquerque, frickin' New Mexico? A couple. I can't name them off the top of my head, but I know there's a couple.
8 hours. Telluride. That's 8 hours from Arizona.
Oh, it is.
It's pretty cool.
We should have gone to Telluride.
Yeah, there's probably still snow up there. Anyways, we're staying on track.
My
Guys, it's
favorite
late.
town. Telluride is my favorite town. You
Yeah.
take the gondola in, there's an awesome bakery. You just walk around. There's a whole bunch of hip shops. I think there's art galleries. There's a movie theater I really want to go to. It's like old and creaky. I'm like, that looks cool.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Epic town. Yes. Okay. Get to our Maverick.
Yep.
I've got these little, like, chicken bites that I get at Costco. 24 grams of protein, 3.5 of fat, no carbs.
Shout out Dak Draper.
Shout out Dak Draper for
Put us
showing
on.
me these. Yeah, showing us these. So I get 2 of them, 50 grams of protein. Boom, no problem.
Boom.
Put them in a little, like, hot dog tote,
Yep.
whatever, heat them up in the microwave, grab some hot sauce, we're good to go.
Yep.
And by this time, we're like kind of shaking off the cobwebs. We're back on track. I grab a fork, and then I go, what did I get? I think I got some popcorners for some carbs.
Uh-huh.
Go to pay for the popcorners, got the popcorners in one hand, got the freshly heated up chicken, fork, and that's it. In the other hand, go to set the chicken down on the counter to self-checkout. Chicken assholes itself right out of my hand onto the floor.
Suicide mission. Suicidal chicken.
Now my chicken that I've been so excited for is all over the floor.
All over.
No chicken for class. So I am a respectful man. Clean it up.
Yep.
We're good to go. I go to get a protein shake.
I forgot about this next part.
I go to get a protein shake because it's 42 grams, so same. And I come back, I'm checking out the protein shake, and then all of a sudden...
So after while you were getting that protein shake, this lady came and mopped up the chicken.
Yeah, I did a good job cleaning up the chicken.
You did.
She polished it off.
It was like the grease that you just couldn't have gotten.
Yeah.
So she mops where the chicken fell.
So in the time I just walked to the case to get the protein shake, she does a great mop job.
Killed it.
Come back to the exact same spot where the chicken incident happened. And I'm paying for the protein shake, and then all of a sudden, what looks like blood and what I think is blood starts shooting all over my leg. And then I see Devin go, oh no.
So listen, I love Mio and any sort of liquid flavored water enhancers.
Yeah.
And I had some Crystal Light and mango passion fruit, and it was in my fanny pack, and for some reason, I don't know why, but when I opened it, this thing was on like auto. It just started going, spraying all over. Missed my shaker bottle by a mile. It just starts oozing blood. Like sometimes in surgery, we'll hit like we'll nick a vein or something or a blood vessel, and it just like shoots out like a geyser. Yeah. That's what this looked like.
Yeah, for sure.
All over where this lady had just mopped.
Yep.
I was so embarrassed, and I got everything. Like I made sure that her mopping did not go to waste. But wow, what a freaking cutoff.
Yeah. At this point, things were just...
My hand still has orange all over it.
Yeah.
When I was producing the girls' match today, I was talking to them about something, and then I was like talking with my hands, and I looked down, and they just kind of looked at me, and I went, guys, I spilled Mio all over myself today. I'm pissed. And I just got sidetracked and told them that story. And they were like, I don't know what that means.
We're trying to figure our match out.
Yeah.
Relax about your Mio situation.
Yeah. And I went, sorry. And then I helped with the rest.
Yeah.
But it's been a rough day.
Yeah. And then I think the last thing was to the train. Right before we started recording.
Oh my God, yeah.
Got off the interstate at Holbrook. It's midnight at this time. We have to cross some train tracks. Not uncommon for us to hit a train on the way to Albuquerque in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
It's 12 o'clock and there's a train. We had to sit and wait for the train to go.
Past his bedtime. What are we doing?
Yeah.
You can just train. You know how loud trains are? You just let them go whenever?
As trained people, we take offense to that.
No noise ordinance. Ever heard of it?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah. So, we have, I don't know, 2.5 hours left.
Yep.
We'll see what other things happen. We still have to go through Elk Alley.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Big ol' elk.
But we have you guys to talk with.
Yeah.
So we're going to be great.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
So that was today.
That was today.
So far. ...
Ooh.
Or is it today ... so far?
Nice.
I think that works better.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because so far ... means there's more to come.
Right.
But so does just so far.
Well, today ... so far. It's kind of like a sigh, not like an ominous statement.
That's true.
Like it's today so far versus today so far. That was riveting audio.
Well,
I think you said that on...
This episode's so far gone. Sorry.
You said that on the happy hour Q&A at one point. It was just like silence or Zoom's like glitched. And then there was silence. You're like, riveting audio, guys. This is so funny.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it, go watch our happy hour Q&A. I hear it's great.
I watched 20 minutes of it. I was very entertained. Doesn't mean you're going to be. But you should give it a shot.
Don't remember it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I want to watch it.
It's more, the first, I mean, I'm going to go back probably and end up watching more of it. But the first 20 minutes were awesome.
I had some Scooby snacks. I was feeling good. I had some, I had a couple Scooby snacks.
Yeah.
Felt great. So, this week, how was your week?
This week was good. This was the first Monday I've worked in like 3 weeks.
Oh, really?
Which was, so this is the first full week I've worked in a while, which was fine. Let's see, I'm trying to think if anything crazy happened. Oh, Thursday was a banger of a day. Everything was pretty standard up until Thursday. So we do this thing at work, I'm sure I've told you, called warm handoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Warm handoffs, for anyone who I haven't explained this to, is when, so my team, my mental health team, which is psychologists, psychiatrists, nurse practitioners, nurses, clinical social workers, we all see our own patients throughout the day, and then we all have times that are allocated to doing warm handoffs, which is when you go to your doctor's office, your primary care provider, and you go, I want to talk to mental health, I want to get set up, or I'm going through something right now, I need to talk to someone. They call myself or someone on my team, and we go into the room and do an assessment. And then get them where they need to go and help them in the moment and stuff like that.
Okay.
That's a big part of our business, and that's why we're integrated with primary care. We do that for them and work together with them.
Yeah.
So usually things have been busier since Christmas than usual, but that means might get 5 to 7 throughout a 10-hour day. That would be a little bit busier. That would be a pretty busy day. Thursday, we had 10 before noon.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they weren't just easy ones either. I did 2 of those. One of them was a suicide risk assessment that was fairly serious, and there was another intimate partner violence one. There was a second suicide risk assessment that someone else had to do, and then one of my patients, I'm starting a trauma treatment with him, and this was our first session where we really get into it, and that was a heavy session too. So it was just Thursday was a day. I got home, I ate, I went to the gym, and then Danielle works Thursday nights at the Bronze Bar. She got home, and she was texting me stuff, and I was not in the mood for it. She even said oh, you're not in a joking mood. She got home, I gave her a tan, and then I was just feeling cranky. And I ate my last meal, and I was like, I'm going to go to bed. I'm very cranky. It would just be best if I get out of here. She was like, okay. And so I went to bed, and then I woke up yesterday and felt much better. Did some errands, had some PT, did the gym, got ready, got tan, got ready for today, and that was that. So heavy week at work, especially on Thursday, but got through it just fine. And it's been good ever since.
You made it.
How was your week?
My week was good. It wasn't like that. Let's see. Monday. Did we have last weekend off?
We did.
We did.
Yeah, we did, yeah. Cool.
Monday was my birthday.
Yeah, it freaking was.
It was.
What'd you get?
I am 28 years old. I went and saw a movie.
Yep.
I saw The Drama with Robert Pattinson and Zendaya, and that's all I knew about the movie before I went and saw it. Oh my God, I loved it. But we will talk about that later. Dun, dun, dun. Reno House of Horrors. Even though, well, it's not a horror. But I want to talk about it, so you'll have to listen to it. Sorry. Okay, so Monday, birthday. You know what? And I'm going to talk about this in a bit. I'll run through my week first. But this week's theme, if this was a sitcom, I don't know. If this was a documentary and this week was an episode, it would be called Devin's First Therapy Breakthrough. Because I've always heard that, and my experience with therapy hasn't been a great one, but I understand that I need it, and I do very well when I am able to communicate what I'm going through, and I think it's helped me just communicate in general a lot better. Like, I take a lot of pride in how I communicate and how I articulate myself, and I think therapy has helped a lot, just overall, but I haven't made a ton of progress. And
hold on, I would say, you know better than I do, but
yeah,
like, breakthroughs and progress, I think, are different.
that's fair.
Yeah, like, the way you framed it earlier was, this was my first, like, real, like, big aha breakthrough moment.
Yes.
Versus, like, chipping away at it.
I would say, okay, yeah, that's fair. I guess it comes down to, like, I finally found a therapist who I trust and is reliable and works well with how I communicate.
She seems awesome.
Yeah, because I've had a lot of experiences before where one of them was quite literally, hey, you are really messed up and you have a lot of trauma. And I go, but I don't understand because I don't have like a traditional traumatic childhood or anything.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, that's really weird. And I go, okay, so we're going to figure that out, right? He goes, oh, yeah. And then just kind of like canceled a couple sessions. And I was like, hey, man, like, I don't know. He's like, oh, he said something to like, I can't accept any more patients. And then when I was like, okay, well, can you at least bill me so I can pay this? He goes, I actually didn't help you at all, so I'm not going to charge you. And that was probably the last like serious go at therapy I had. And I was just like, oh, okay then. I don't know what that says about me.
Yeah, what do I do with that?
Yeah, because it's like, hey, you're really messed up, which when you start therapy, that's typically what happens.
Yeah.
It's very rare for people to go to therapy when they're in a good place, I feel like.
Yeah.
And so I started it. I said, hey, you really messed up. And according to these scores, it's probably worse than you think on whatever test he gave me. And then was like, but I can't help you. I'm sorry. He's like, okay, sick, thanks.
Yeah.
And so then that was the last one. And then this one, I started going when I was in my last relationship. She helped me a lot with that. And then has been helping me tremendously through the breakup and the trauma that came with that and everything surrounding it. What was it?
Big elk. Sorry.
Really?
Big elk, yeah.
Now it's the cow, but in reverse. I didn't see it.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I would have loved to see that. So she's been awesome. And one of the things that I did, well, I guess I'm just talking about the breakthrough, so I'll just talk about it.
Yeah, please.
And then we'll get into the rest of the week, because it kind of is all based around that, to be honest.
For sure.
All right, so last session, we started this trauma treatment, which is called EMDR. Do you know what it stands for? Eye movement,
desensitization.
Okay.
Rehearsal. So.
Eye movement desensitization.
Desensitization. Desensitization.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Rehearsal.
Yeah.
Okay, so essentially what you do is she gave me these little like Nintendo Switch looking things in my hand.
Solid, yep.
That would vibrate, and it goes right, left at like a certain interval. And there's a light on it, and you're holding them in front of you, and you're looking at the light. So when the light shines on the left, you look at the left without moving your head. When the light shines on the right, you look at the right without moving your head. And then the first time we did it, okay, so how it goes is last session, she took a lot of like information from me. She was like, okay, what was the worst part about this experience for you? And I laid out what happened and the moment I found out some information and like where I was, how I felt, the setting around me. And then she's like, okay, where's your safe space? When you think about there's no worries in the world, where is it? And so I laid that out for her, and she kept track, and she wanted to know like, all right, and she brought back past notes from past sessions, like, you think this about yourself, what are we looking to address, blah, blah, blah. What are you looking to like improve with these sessions? And so I gave her all this information, and then she brought it up, and she goes, okay, you're gonna either close your eyes or just put yourself in that, what I just said was the worst part of what I had gone through. She goes, you're gonna relive that. You're going to put yourself in that scenario where this happened and just try to relive it. I was like, oh, okay, sick. And the first time I did it, I was holding the 2 Switch controllers, and I'm looking back and forth at the light, and she goes, okay, what did you think? Well, that happened. And I went, I want to be very honest with you. I think I'm too competitive because I kept trying to time when I would look at the light. So, like, if I was looking at the left and the light was on, I would try to time it by memorizing the interval and look at the right at the perfect time. I don't know why I did that, but I did it, and I was honest about it. Because I thought about just, like, making something up. I was like, that's not why I'm here.
Yeah.
So I was just honest, and she goes, well, how about you close your eyes? And when you feel the vibration, you just look that way while your eyes are closed using your eyes, left and right. I was like, okay, cool. So I did that, and it was like, okay, at first it goes, I was thinking about this, and like this came up, and I was wondering why. And she goes, okay, think about that. Why? Why did you have those thoughts? What are you thinking about that? So we went back, closed my eyes, I started thinking about that. Same thing, open your eyes, what were you thinking about? Okay, now put yourself there. What are you thinking about here? Back and forth. And at first I was like, this is kind of weird. Like, I don't know. But then by the 4th or 5th time, I was just like on the verge of tears. And she was like, okay, why, what were you thinking about? And I remember thinking, I was like, and I think I told you this, like, these people around me tell me I'm a good person, right?
Yep.
And it almost makes me feel like an imposter because I don't feel that way. I'm like, well, I'm not, like, I don't think I'm a good person. That's why, like, these things happen to me. And if I was a good person, this stuff wouldn't happen. And so, because this stuff doesn't happen to good people, so I must not be a good person. That was my logic.
Right.
And she goes, okay, you've said to me that you're good at wrestling. And I was like, yeah. She goes, why are you so confident that you're good at wrestling, but you're not a good person? And I was like, she goes, cool, close your eyes and think about that. I was like, okay. So then I was thinking about it, and I started, like, crying. And I told her, I was like, well, in wrestling, I've dedicated the last 5 years of my life to it, to the point of, like, borderline obsession, to where everything relates to it. More on that later.
Yeah.
And that, like, me being good at it is a result of putting that effort in. So, like, yes, I did the work to get there, so it's okay to say I'm good at that because I have this validation from other people and my peers and veterans and respected leaders in the industry. Like, no, you're good at this. You just have to keep working, which, of course, you're always going to work to get better. And so I was telling her that, and I'm like, that's why I'm okay with saying I'm good at it. And she was like, okay, so why are you not a good person? And she goes, you think about other people, you try to help them as much as you can, you are very articulate and honest with how you think, and from what I've talked with you about, I've never heard you say something that I was like, oh, that's kind of fucked up. And I was like, well, to be honest, like, since I was a kid, my brain was just wired that way. So it's weird for me to be like, oh, yeah, I'm a good person because I just woke up that way. Like, I didn't put in work to be that. That's just how I think. And then that leads me, like, there's nothing I did to deserve being called that. And because of these things that have happened, or like I've learned to, how I've been framing it is like, yeah, you weren't good enough. That's why this happened to you, you know, like with past relationships. And it's like, well, yeah, they did that because you weren't good enough. And it's just like confirmation bias almost. So I don't know if that's the right word, but like, I believe this about myself. I don't believe I'm good enough for whatever the thing is, love in this case. I don't believe I'm good enough for that. So therefore, this happened because of that.
Yep.
And she goes, isn't it, what are we doing right now? And I was like, well, like, she goes, where are you? I go, I'm in therapy. She goes, okay, you're in therapy and you constantly communicate your thoughts to people. And I've also heard you say like, oh, you know what? That makes sense. I was wrong there. And you take accountability and you learn from your mistakes. And she goes, so you do put in work to be a good person. why don't you accept that? And it like blew my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know. Because that logic, you would think that applies to wrestling, would apply to my life, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
And that was like a huge disconnect where I was like, holy shit, I don't know why I hate myself. So much so that I'm able to accept this fake version of me, which is Wrestler Devin. And I always say that. Like, Wrestler Devin is awesome. Person Devin sucks. And it's like, why do I even think that if they're equally doing the same effort to become good, you know?
Uh-huh.
And so that was like a huge moment where, and it was the end of the session, and she kind of like talked me down and, you know, transitioned back into real life. And not that that's not real life, but...
yeah, you got to come down from that.
Yeah.
Like, de-escalate a little bit.
It felt like, I've never done psychedelics, but it felt like, whoa. Like, I don't know why. I literally left, and I sat in my car, and I was like just tearing up, and I go, why do I hate myself?
Yeah.
I don't understand why I don't allow myself to just feel okay. And I'm not even saying I'm a perfect person, but just good. Like, I can't even admit that I'm a good person. Like, what is wrong with me? And I remember just kind of like sitting with that, and I went home, and I go, that doesn't make any sense. And then it happened to be my birthday, and I was like, you know what? I usually don't celebrate my birthday, and last year was kind of a rough one. So I was kind of like, okay, I don't deserve this, and it's been proven to me. So yeah, all right, whatever. But this year I was like, you know what? If I'm going to start saying and working and doing the things that I say I want to do and improving myself, then like, yeah, I should probably celebrate my birthday.
Yeah.
And not in like a make it about me, but like, I wouldn't acknowledge my birthday on social media. Like, if somebody posted about me, I would try to like avoid it or just like it or something.
Sure.
And now I'm like, okay, like if somebody posts a picture of us, I'm just going to repost it. Because like, that's cool that they took the time out of their day to do that. And it, you know, makes me feel special. And who am I if this person wants to share love to be like, no. Like, I wouldn't do that in wrestling if they're like, hey, I want to get better, or I want to work with you. I wouldn't go, no. Like, that doesn't make sense. Or if they're like, hey, you're really good at wrestling, I want to have a match with you. I've never said no.
Right.
So if they're like, hey, you mean something to me, so I want to share this picture of us, or just say happy birthday to you, who am I to be like, I don't think so.
Yep.
It's like, that's a weird way to think about it. And once I reframed that, I was like, oh, this is how I think about a lot of things in my life.
Yeah.
And that this week has been like huge in terms of just reshaping how I view life. It's very, very interesting, and it's very humbling in a lot of ways. And it's led me to, I don't know if I still struggle with the idea of like, oh yeah, I'll be happy. Because I always say like I'm competitive to the point, and we've talked about it a lot today, like borderline, if it was a normal person, I would be delusional. But because I'm like, no, like this can happen, and I have this idea and plan to back it up, and it sounds like, oh, okay, shit, that might actually happen. Then that, like, it's a weird balance, you know? Like, yeah. I don't know, it's weird. And so it's like reframed how I think about a lot of things. And I'm still processing in a very healthy way, I think, where I'm trying to acknowledge that, sure, I mess up and I have shortcomings and I work on those, but also acknowledge like I kind of do good things. And every aspect of my life, there are people who will vouch for me, whether it be professional life at work or wrestling or even my personal life. There's a lot of people who would go like, hey man, like you're doing all right. Like, and this isn't like a brag or anything, but the amount of people who have told me like I've helped them through something, or I don't know, like inspired seems like such a grandiose word, but just like
you can use it because it's true.
Yeah, so that is like just coming to terms with that. Like if I have a good match, I can walk back and go, you fucking hear that?
Yep.
You hear that shit? Like, yeah, I fucking tore the house down. Like, yeah, look, we had him right where we fucking wanted him because we did that shit. But I can't do that in real life.
Yeah.
Because someone will say something good about me and I'm like, no. Or I just go, I'll say like, oh, thank you so much. And literally, I've done this my whole life. In my head, I'll go, hey, thank you so much. And in my head, I'll go, oh, they're saying that because they feel bad for me, or, oh, they're saying that because I helped them in wrestling, so it's like a political move. Totally off base, totally no evidence to support that besides my own delusion.
Yeah.
But I will say that in my head to then discount the good thing they're saying about me. And I think when I had that realization, when I was driving home, or I went for a drive on my birthday, I was just like borderline on a mental break. Because I was like, why the hell do I do that? That doesn't make any, like, that's a crazy thing to do. To make up a negative motivation from somebody telling me something good about myself. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So that's something that I've been really, really, I don't want to say struggle, because it's work. It's not a struggle, if that makes sense.
You've been working on.
Yeah, I've been working on it, and I've been trying to appreciate and be more present with the people and try to like take into account what they say. Because who am I to call it? Because really what I'm doing is calling them a liar in my head. And I don't want to say that about people that I love. Like, that's screwed up. And so, yeah, that was like a huge breakthrough, I think, in terms of how I'm viewing myself and life. And it's weird because I don't know how to handle it yet. But we've talked about it. Like, I've had a lot of dreams recently, literally on schedule, once a week, reliving a certain trauma. And, dude, you've seen it. You saw it firsthand.
Uh-huh.
I would have the dream on Monday, reliving whatever the event, right, in different forms.
Yeah.
So, like, it would be like, hey, this time it was through a conversation, and this time it was, oh, they literally, like, showed the different, I don't want to be too specific, but, you know, like, I was reliving the same thing over and over through different scenes.
Yeah.
And it would just throw my whole week off.
Yeah.
Like, I would have an off meal on my meal plan, or I would be off all day. I would be depressed. I would, like, go into work not wanting to be there, which is rare. And dude, a couple weeks ago, I told you and Zamaya, I wasn't excited to wrestle.
Yeah.
Like, we had 2 fun matches coming up that weekend, and I told you guys, I go, look, I'm going to be very honest. Like, I just kind of am getting through this right now.
Yeah.
And of course, like you guys said, when I showed up and I started talking about wrestling, I opened up and I was, you know, there was a light that went off, and I was like, okay, cool, we're good, we're going to have fun, blah, blah, blah. And then after that, it was kind of like right back to, all right, whatever.
Yep.
You know? And so once I realized that, and the whole, oh, wow, like the one thing in my life that I can say I love more than anything, probably, in terms of things, wrestling, that's scary. That's a scary realization, is like, oh, I'm not excited to wrestle tomorrow.
Yeah.
What is wrong with me? And that led to me just going all in on this trauma treatment. And I'm so glad I did, because, like, holy hell. And it's just totally changed my view. And I don't even know what my new view is. Like, I'm transitioning into a new perspective on life, and I'm getting a new lens. Like, I always tell people that. I tell Lincoln all the time at the school, because he's very similar with how he talks about himself. And I go, Lincoln, you don't see us, or you don't see yourself how we see you.
Right.
Like, I wish you could see us through the lens that we have, not the one that you see yourself through. And then I left therapy that day, and I went, God damn it.
Yeah.
I'm literally viewing myself through a broken lens, and then using that lens to put on top of other people's. Yeah. And go like, oh no, they're actually thinking this. They're actually thinking, like, that's such an insane thing to think. So, yeah, that was what started last week.
Yeah.
And kind of transitioned into me this week, going like, all right, I'm 28 now. I have a huge move coming up. I have to go into this not clear-headed, but definitely in a better spot than I'm in now. And just, okay, I have to make the most out of this move and this kind of opportunity I have at a new life. And if you go through the definition of insanity, right? Like, if you go in doing the same things expecting different results, that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So just because I'm across the country, but I have the same behaviors and the same patterns of self-hate and all these things, I'm going to end up in the same place I'm in now, where maybe I'm not making as much progress in wrestling, or I'm not finding confidence outside of wrestling, and talking to people and meeting people, and what's even scarier is if I'm there, I'm alone, and I know I'm what's it called, capable, not eager, I'm susceptible to self-isolation.
There you go. Yeah.
So like if I go in without trying to reframe how I view myself and my life and all of those things, I'm just going to self-isolate and become probably more depressed than I am now. And then what's that for, you know? And also, when I have kids, if I don't work on this stuff now, which a lot of mental health, I'm sure, is genetic.
Yep.
So when they go through it, who am I to be like, oh, well, you should really, because then I'm going to start giving advice to my kids that I don't believe, or that I
haven't taken.
Yeah. And I'm not going to do that. It's bad enough I'm doing it to my friends. I don't want to do that to my kids.
Yeah.
So that's something that I have to work on. And that's something that I have been working on. And it's been a really, really, fulfilling is the wrong word, but exciting journey.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, I have something to work on now. Like, this is really cool. I wake up every day and I catch myself with those thoughts. And now, like in wrestling, like when I become obsessive about like, oh, I did that thing again. Okay, I got to hone in on that, or I got to do that, or, oh, I really need to nail this, you know? Like now I'm like, oh, why am I having these thoughts? That doesn't make any sense. Like,
Yep.
How about let's think about the evidence? And if these people are lying to me, there's a lot of people lying to me, and they're kind of saying similar things. So it's a grand conspiracy against me.
Right.
And then imagine how crazy that sounds. Like,
Yep.
that's stupid.
Yep.
So it's so much hard. It's weird how it's hard to accept, like, love sometimes.
Yep.
But and like I said, I came from a divorced household, but I always said divorce helped me because it brought me more family. So I have like this huge extensive support system, yet this is how my brain works, and I don't understand that yet, nor I don't know if I ever will, but I understand now how to navigate it a little bit better and how to catch it, and I might not know how to fix it, but I know how, that I'm on the way to fixing it,
Yeah.
which is almost comforting in its own right.
Yeah. It's really cool to see you go through it because, you've talked about your therapist, and she sounds incredible and like really good balance of like pushing you, but also like being supportive and being there for you, but also like calling you on your shit when she needs to.
Yeah.
And that tells me that you guys have an incredible rapport. And a couple things I'll just point out for anyone who's like looking for a therapist or wants to look for a therapist and doesn't know what to look for. What you're talking about, there's like EMDR, that's like kind of a specialized intense treatment, which can be absolutely great. But generally, what I would recommend looking for, based on what you've said you've gotten out of therapy, is someone who does cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. That is the practice of looking how your thoughts and your behaviors are both working against you to make you feel a certain type of way. So what you talked a lot about just now was how you are having these like very unhelpful thoughts that are, we call it discounting the positive, right? That's one of them.
Okay.
So if these positive things happen, oh, Devin, it's your birthday, I hope you have a great day. They don't really mean that.
Right.
Oh, Devin, you did so awesome on this, like you just PR'd on this thing. They don't really mean that. They probably want something, right? You're like taking the positive out of it and telling yourself a story about whatever. That's all falls in within cognitive behavioral therapy, and that's what like cognitive behavioral therapists teach you to do, is monitor those thoughts so you can catch them and then understand them better. Where are they coming from? Why are they here? And then what do I do with them moving forward? Whereas before, a lot of times, those thoughts happen kind of subconsciously, and we just then like go down the rabbit hole and aren't sure what to do with them.
I was there for years. Yeah.
Right. And this is, I always tell when I'm teaching people this, I'm always like, dude, like this is what we should be learning in school, how to manage this instead of,
oh my God,
like science. I don't know. Everything was great in school, I guess. Not everything. I don't agree with that. But there's some great stuff in school. This would have been more valuable than most of the things I learned in like high school and middle school.
Yeah.
So cognitive behavioral therapist. And then the other thing I want to like, I've learned this through working with people on the other end of that, of being a therapist, is if you don't have a good relationship with your therapist, just tell them and ask to switch or ask for referrals. Like in most cases, you'll not hurt their feelings, because in my opinion, the most important component of working with a therapist is the relationship. If you don't trust them, if you're not comfortable with them, then they can be the best therapist in the world, but if you're not vibing and you don't have a good feel with it, then nothing they do is going to get through with you. And you're not going to feel as comfortable about opening up. And a lot of times people say that it takes a while to find a therapist, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, like, if you finally get with someone and you're not feeling it, that's okay. Ask for some referrals and keep switching. Like, you're allowed to do that. And I found that a lot of people don't really, it's hard for people to like accept that, I think. And so that's one of the things I always tell my patients too. I'm like, hey, please tell me if this isn't the right fit. I will get you with someone else. We can get you because this is what matters. They're like, oh, wow, thank you. Okay. And it's just like people never thought that that's a thing they had to do.
Yeah.
Or not put as much value on that.
I didn't. I had no idea.
Well, and then to your point, like, you had that weird experience with that guy who kind of like told you were fucked up and then said, see you later.
Yeah.
Like, what? Okay. That's not great. And so a lot of times then people will go and like stick with a therapist for 5-6 sessions maybe, even though the vibe's not good, but then they leave that with a sour taste in their mouth about it. That makes it harder to go back.
Yeah.
Or like what you had, you saw someone and they're like, nah.
Right.
And then that leaves a sour taste. Like, shit, well, I guess I'm too messed up to go see someone. Keep shopping until you find the right one, and that will make all the difference, because now you found an incredible one, and look at the difference that's happening.
Oh yeah.
It's night and day.
It is. It's awesome.
So.
And with him, like, it wasn't even, I've never been angry towards him either, because it sucked, but it was like, all right, he's probably going through something, you know?
Sure.
It's like, oh yeah, like, okay. Because I do things where I'm going through things where I don't show up, or I'm not as good as I could be. And so it's so funny how I had that grace with him and then not with myself.
Yes.
It's like, why? Like, why? That doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
And so, yeah, it is, you're exactly right. Like, that relationship is so, probably the biggest component of therapy.
I really believe that. Because, yeah, nothing else is going to matter if we don't trust each other and you're showing up because you feel like you have to.
Yeah.
So,
and just being upfront with, like, how, because I picked her and she was kind of like, all right, like, what led you to picking me? And I was like, honestly, you have therapy dogs here, so that's fire. There's 2 dogs, they're awesome. And they like there have been plenty of times where I'm like crying, but also like I have dog hair in my mouth, so I'm petting them and he's like laying on my chest and I'm just like like spitting dog hair.
Incredible.
It's awesome. It's so funny. But yeah, like there's that, and then I told her, I have so many male mentors in my life that I wanted a woman. Like, I wanted a woman's perspective, so that way I'm not in like this echo chamber. Because as much as there isn't differences, there are differences too.
Yeah.
And I just want to have a different perspective. Because if I just end up with all these men in my life who are, you know, role models where I go to for problems, and then I don't go to a woman why not? I have the opportunity to. I just am not blessed with that in my life. I mean, I feel like it's kind of weird, like, normally your friends are the same gender, right? Not all the time.
Yeah,
like, I have plenty of
generally speaking.
Yeah. Plenty of women who are friends, but I wouldn't go to them with these kinds of things. I don't know, maybe because I don't want to bother them, or like, what was like Zamaya? We'll use her as an example. I don't want, or I go to her for a lot of things.
Yeah.
I say, hey, like, I'm struggling with this. What do you think? Or I'll ask her opinion. But then I almost feel like I'm putting them in a spot where they have to, navigate something that's difficult. Whereas with the therapist, it's like, hey, this is kind of your job.
Yeah.
I need help with this.
Yeah.
And a woman's perspective would be awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I just told her those 2 things, and she's like, great. Thanks for being honest.
Yeah.
And then we just went into it, and it was like, oh, cool. Like, we have okay, this is gonna work out.
Yep. Yeah. Really, really cool. And like, man, when therapy's good, it changed your life.
It's so funny because Max says that, right?
Yeah.
He always goes, go to therapy.
Yeah.
Everyone should. Therapy's awesome. And I used to say that. I would tell people, I go to therapy. Like, why not? But at the same time, I was avoiding it. And so it's like, same thing. Like, I was trying to give people the advice that I wasn't taking.
Yeah.
And that was something I told her too. I was like, look, I always tell people this. I go, I think this is a very useful tool. I just have failed at it multiple times. And so that's kind of discouraged me. And then, it just worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if it hadn't, who knows? It would have sucked. But also, it's like, well, I'm kind of going through this thing right now. I got to figure this out. And it's severely affecting how I view myself and how I view life. So, can't go through that alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, really, like, crazy stuff. Go to therapy, guys.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
If you can. And I understand it's not available to everyone, but try your best.
Yeah. Some people out there charge an insane amount. It's crazy.
Yeah. I am, like, wonderfully blessed with my job and this insurance that it's a part of it. And, like, there's a copay. There's a higher copay, but it's not anything compared to, like, rates I was paying before.
Yeah.
So I know there's, like, virtual things now, and there's at least some companies out there trying to make it more affordable. I don't know what that looks like because, again, I wasn't very motivated to research. But, yeah, I try it out. Really, the only reason I went to is because I was looking through my insurance, and I went, oh, mental health's on here.
Yeah. A lot of your insurances, if you have insurance, a lot of them include mental health sessions now.
Yeah.
Common ones, Doctor on Demand or BetterHelp. A lot of insurances will give you like 10 free sessions a year.
Oh, wow. That's
and those
cool.
are pretty good resources.
Yeah.
And easy to switch to a different therapist if you don't like the therapist you're assigned. Or you pick. You can have some control.
Nice.
You can pick them, yeah. So, yeah, there's usually options. A lot of therapists who do private practice will do like a sliding scale meeting for certain populations. A common one is veterans. They'll cut their rate for veterans or for first responders or for whatever. Like you can find a lot of sliding scales, and it kind of is typically tailored towards like what kind of work they do and with whom. So look for those too.
Yeah.
Really helpful.
That's good information. And it's hard. like finding a therapist and therapy itself is hard.
Yeah.
And that's something that I maybe would work against me there. But at the same time, again, I relate it to wrestling. Like, wrestling's hard. Do you know what's harder? Life without wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, I did that. It was the worst.
Yeah.
I was even worse than I am now in terms of how I viewed life and how I hated myself. So, yeah, it's worth all of the work because I've seen life without wrestling. And now, going through all of those therapists and going to, I remember walking into this, like, health clinic, and, like, at this point, I was borderline, inpatient? I was borderline that and just going to check myself in, and I went into this other place, and they were just kind of like, all right, like, I filled out the same paperwork and the same questions and to the point where I was like, I just filled out 12 pages that I've done several times before.
Yeah.
This is crazy, and this sucks. And then they were just like, wow, that's crazy, man. I go, yeah. They're like, yeah. So this is what you have, we think, and it's going to be $250 every time, and we think you should come here once a week. And I was like, dude, I'm a broke personal trainer. Like, I can afford $1,000 a month. I'm talking about my problems to hear that's crazy. Like, I don't know about that. And so, like, it is very, very difficult to go through these things. And also, living life without addressing these problems that you have in yourself is way more difficult, in my opinion.
Yeah. I always say, like, when you're making a decision, whether it's to go to therapy, to apply for a job, to, like, move, whatever, like, yeah, you should be scared of that. But you should be more scared of staying where you're at.
Yes.
And not changing, in my opinion. So
100%.
Yeah, agreed.
That's why my mom, she didn't talk me into moving, but she gave me the gentle nudge.
Yep.
Where she was like, okay, this is the time in your life where you don't have, like, I don't want to say real responsibilities, but locked in responsibilities.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, I don't have any kids. I'm not married. And so I haven't made lifelong commitments to anything. And so it becomes, well, what do you want with your life? Well, I want this. I want to be successful in wrestling and do this. Where do you have to be for that? Well, over here it's a little bit more of a hot spot, so go there. Well, I don't know if I can. And, oh, okay, so you're just going to wonder what if you went there?
Yeah. Damn, Carrie.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
And it is scary. Like, I'm going there. I don't know anyone. I know people. Like, I've started to reach out to people, and they've been very, very helpful. But, again, it's, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen, but I also know that just the idea of never knowing would eat me alive.
Yep.
Like, there's not a chance I would be able to live with that. So, right, it would be very difficult, I should say.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That was kind of a long ramble. I feel like it was a good one.
I think that was a good one.
And I kind of wanted to share that because I'm very open
Yeah.
with everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's what allows me to connect to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And who am I to be open about and vulnerable about the bad things, but not say like, hey, this is what's working for me.
Yes.
You know, like that's...
Which is in line with what you're working on anyways.
Yeah.
Like noticing and appreciating the good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love it.
Absolutely. So go. I understand it's hard. Try to find your outlet and your way of addressing. We all got problems, man. Like,
Heck yeah.
find your way of addressing it and dealing with it.
I stubbed my toe the other day.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Let's talk about that.
just
Were you wearing sandals?
Yeah. Bare feet, bro.
Oh no.
Side of the bed.
I honestly, if I would have known, I would have just wrestled 1-on-2 tonight. I'm sorry. I feel bad now. But yeah, I think that message is I don't know. I like being able to shed some light on that and be open and I don't know. I guess we've talked about that. Wrestling has helped me embrace that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm an emotional dude. I struggled with that as a kid because I didn't feel like I was normal. And then you wake up, you grow up, and you're like, oh, some people just feel emotions heavier, I think.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
And it's hard to explain, but I'm also tired of like wondering if they believe me or not. Is there an elk?
The whole herd of them.
Oh my God.
Look at all the elk.
Oh, there's so many.
They're huge.
Go to therapy, elk.
Bunch of cows.
See cows.
But you grow up.
Yeah, you grow up and you see elk on the road. Oh, being emotional.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, some adults are more emotional than others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just, okay, this is how my brain and my heart work together. I'm going to just accept that. And also, not just say, that's how I am as a cop-out. Like, oh, I got on Lincoln so bad about that the other day.
Oh, that's just how I am, bro.
Oh, I lost it.
Yeah.
No, that's bullshit. Like, when somebody is saying, hey, and to be fair, I think this helped me accept it about myself too. But when somebody is like, hey, no, I really need you to acknowledge that you did something good. And for me to go, no, that's just not how I am. Fuck you, change.
As a therapist, like, you go, okay, so I guess you know more than I do.
Yeah.
That's like where that goes then.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's like with wrestling where, hey, I think if you did this, it might help the crowd a little bit and improve your matches. Well, that's not how I do things.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll go fuck myself.
Right. Well, it's like it's like Dr. Tom saying that to a trainee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and they're like, nah, doc, that's not what I do.
Yeah.
So why are you here?
Right.
Why did you come to me to get better?
Insane.
Yeah.
People, and I've seen it.
Yeah.
Like, not even just me. Like, I get asked to watch matches sometimes, and it's awesome, and it's an honor. And normally people are pretty receptive, but I've seen people ask people who are way better than me and done way more in the business. And they just go, oh yeah, but normally, it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, you ask them for their advice. They're trying to help you. They went through the time of doing that, and you're going to go, yeah, but that's not how I do things. Or, well, I like doing this. All right, you also like staying the same, I guess, and being at this level forever. So, because that's what you're going to do. So who am I to like get mad about that and then in real life be like, oh, like this is how I am.
Insane.
Or you can embrace the beauty in being an emotional person, which I think there's a lot of beauty in it, and also realize, well, I need some semblance of control over my thoughts. I'm not going to minimize my emotions, but I'm going to improve how my reactions, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to minimize how much I feel, because I think that's a unique blessing for you. If you do feel like I do, and you're like, yeah, man, sometimes I get so happy, or wrestling hits me so hard when I'm talking about a match or something that I experienced. Like when Graves put me over in front of the class. Like, earning the respect of somebody who I respect so much, and having him tell me how good that match was and how good I am as a worker in front of everyone, I cried. Because that meant so much to me. And they're like, okay, yeah, you're going to fucking make fun of me because I cried? Yeah, I felt that so heavily. That's how that manifested. But at the same time, if I were to go, I expressed it, I didn't react to it. The reaction was the crying. But then to take that and embrace that beauty and then go, well, I don't know, I'm just emotional, and I don't believe you if you say good things about me.
Yeah.
Well, that's not helping you either. So having that self-awareness of like, sometimes I need to react. Or when somebody says, I can't think of a reaction that I have that I would be like, the only thing is that, you know, positive talk and making up reasons that they're saying it.
Yep.
Like, that's something that I'm embarrassed about, and that's something that I would just tell myself, but that's how I am. Well, fix that, man, because like, you're discounting all these people who love you.
And it's not helping you at all.
Yeah, that's screwed up. Why are you doing that to these people? They don't deserve that. So, yeah, if you're an emotional person like me, that's okay. Yes. But you also have to realize what comes with that.
Yep.
What is it? I always think, like, with great power comes great responsibility.
There it is.
Like, there's super logical people who they are incredibly logical and able to break down scenarios without emotion. Sometimes you need to think, well, what's going to make me happy here?
Yeah.
Not what makes the most logistical sense.
Yeah.
Like, because what makes the most logistical sense might mean, yeah, I'll make more money and spend less here.
Yeah.
Are you going to be happier? No. But I make more money and I spend less.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You should want to be happier. Those are just numbers, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's beauty in both of them.
Yes.
Like, I always see people who are saying, like, sometimes, like, with you, with how you address situations, I'm always like, damn, like, why can't I do that? And then there are other times where I think, like, I try to put myself in those shoes, and I go, but that's not how I feel.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's not as fulfilling.
Yeah, that just is the difference in, like, the way we see things. Because, like, yeah, sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I felt emotions. Like, pretty strongly. But that's just not how I am.
Yeah.
I need to use my, like, left side of my brain and be logical about this.
I think that's why the team works so well.
Yeah, one of the many reasons.
If we ever have to rebrand, we should be the brain.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Left side and right side.
Bro, remember the title.
Yeah, I was just thinking
Let's
that.
Go.
I was just thinking
Let's
that.
go.
That's awesome. But yeah, I think that was a solid rant.
That was one of our best,
Yeah,
I think.
I'm proud of it.
I think so too.
And thank you for all the help. You helped me a ton.
Yeah.
Just break,
me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, yeah, thanks. I mean, you're welcome. It's late.
Yeah, because I'll like unpack this with you.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're on these trips.
Long,
like,
wonderful trips.
Oh, we do. Especially today. It's just us two.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just talking.
Yeah.
Like we basically had 4 podcasts today.
Just a continuous stream of podcasts.
Yeah. And a lot of it is like, well, this is what we talked about. And then it goes, well, okay, maybe, why do I think that? And like, I'm able to, like I told you the other day, I always tell the students at wrestling, if you leave your wrestling school or whatever your dream is, but let's stick to wrestling. If you're a wrestling trainee or a wrestler and you leave training, let's say Tuesday, Thursday, for the 3 hours that you're there, you leave it and you don't think about wrestling until the next day you're in that gym, you will not get better.
Yeah.
You just won't. So if I leave therapy and I don't think about what we talked about until the next therapy session in 2 weeks, how am I going to get better?
Yeah.
I have to go in my car, think about it, wake up the next day. How do those thoughts resonate? Okay, wait a minute. Why am I telling myself this? Why am I going back to hating myself? Why am I telling myself that I don't deserve these things? It's like, well, check that. I'll move on. Like, I'm going to, what does Maya say? Clock it. Move on.
Yeah. Nice.
And circle back later.
Yeah.
And then
nice.
like sift through it when I'm less emotional about it.
Yeah.
So you got to do the work outside of wherever the actual time is.
The allocated
especially in
time. Yeah.
wrestling.
Do the work outside of the
Allocated time, yes.
Yeah.
That's the way.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Hills, yeah. Oh, and then I saw the Michael Jackson movie with my sisters.
Yeah.
Awesome. Just beautiful. It gave me a new perspective on Michael Jackson because I didn't really know much about him. I knew, like, of course I knew he was this big pop star. I know a lot of his songs. I listened to a lot of his songs as a kid, but it just gave me, I think I told you, like, I had goosebumps during the scene
got
where,
lost in it a couple times. Yeah.
where he's like creating Thriller, and
Yeah.
you see his mind going and all the album and just the way that they presented that, I had goosebumps. And when I know nothing about dance, but when he was doing the dance choreography and I could see his light bulb going off in his head, and he was like, hang on, you guys do that. I'm going to kind of play over here for a second. Like, let's do this. And then he's just able to, like, it reminds me of like Matches where, like, I think, and I'm like, okay, not to say I'm on that level at all, but that same, like, oh, whoa. Like, when I had that realization of, like, he's putting together a match right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm watching Shawn Michaels put together a match, but it's Michael Jackson putting together music, you know?
Yeah.
That's how I felt, and that's, like, the goosebumps I had. Now I want to research all of the behind the scenes and try to hear as much as I can about how he created certain projects and his thought process and inspiration. Like, I had so much. Oh, I left that movie so amped. It was, let's go.
Yeah.
Great movie. I highly recommend it. Won't talk about that in House of Horrors. But
No. Well, we could. It'd be a nice reprieve for some of our listeners, aka me.
a little rest hold.
Yeah, a little rest hold. No, we got to keep it House of Horrors.
I think the drama would be a nice rest. Because it's not like, I kind of gave you the synopsis.
The rundown, but
yeah,
that'd be a good one. Because it's like you said, it has elements, but not maybe full-fledged.
Yeah. It's just kind of like, what did I just watch?
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Are you doing the thing?
Well,
Oh,
are we gonna? Yes.
okay.
You think we go hit our last stop here in a second?
Are we already there?
Uh-huh.
Oh, let's go.
Like 5 or 10 minutes away from the last stop.
Fuck yeah.
So I think we hit our last stop, get what we need to get. Yeah, we're in Payson now.
Ooh.
I know.
Dude, this podcast is such a cheat code.
It is a cheat code for the ride. Guys, thanks for listening.
Keep watching and listening, but if you don't, we might just still do this.
We might still do it just for ourselves.
Yeah, put it into the universe.
Yeah.
Just because we want to stay up on these drives.
Yes.
Somebody finds it in like 100 years. They're like, wow, these guys were really bored.
Yeah. It's a lot of driving.
Yeah. Kawasaki? In Payson? I've never
yeah.
seen that before.
Really?
Yeah.
The big motorsports area. Like
No.
the side-by-sides, dirt bikes, because people like trail riding and hunting. fishing.
Adult cabaret popping.
Oh, I believe it.
Adult cabaret with a cow on it.
Wait, adult cabaret?
Oh, that's so good. The adult cabaret at 1:30 in the morning. That parking lot is the most full I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Putting a cow. What a decision.
Milk,
Oh no.
right? Milking the cow.
I guess.
Yeah.
Is that the name of a
What? Name of who?
a move?
Milking a cow. I mean, I just think at a fancy adult establishment like that with the cabaret, you have the women's their udders of their own,
Okay.
and biologically that sometimes milk comes out of those.
Yes.
That's the only connection I can think of as to why they would have a cow on there.
I see what you're saying.
I don't think it's good, but that's the only connection I can make right now.
Yeah, well, yeah. The other one is very rude.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I don't, like, why are we talking about people like that? What are we doing? But again, maybe we should, never mind.
Have you ever seen the movie Kingpin? The
No.
bowling movie with Woody Harrelson?
No.
All right. This is going to connect here in a second.
Okay.
Long story short, he's this like up and coming bowler in the Midwest. He gets involved in this like kind of bad game because he needs money, and he hustles them, and they catch him and put his hand in the fucking wheel thing.
Oh.
His right hand. Now he's flash forwards 10 years later. He's got a hook for a hand. He's a
Okay.
loser. He's like scraping together rent. He's trying to he's just shitty life.
Okay.
So he's at the bowling alley trying to drum up some business or something. He hears someone bowling. He hears the strike. It's this like very profound sound.
Sure.
And he goes and hears it again and again, and he goes and sees who's doing it. It's Randy Quaid. Do you know who that is?
No. That
he-
sounds familiar.
Yeah, you'd recognize him. But it's an Amish dude who has snuck away from the farm
Okay.
to go bowl. He loves bowling.
Sure.
And
Is bowling technically un-Amish? I don't know what the word would be.
in this movie, it is.
Okay.
He has to sneak away because he's like, oh, my grandfather used to sneak me out to go bowling with him.
So that's cool.
Yeah. So Woody Harrelson's like pitching him. He's like, you can be the best I've ever, blah, 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 blah. But really, he's like trying to get some money off him, you know?
Oh,
like
okay. He's a carny.
He's a carny.
Okay.
Big carny. So Ishmael says no. Ishmael is Randy Quaid.
Yeah.
So Roy says, he's pitching him. Ishmael says no, starts taking his little horse and buggy back to the farm. And then Roy learns about this like $1 million tournament that's
Okay.
coming up in Vegas.
All right.
And so he goes to Ishmael's Amish farm and like infiltrates. He gets a fake beard and everything.
Oh, no.
And he's like trying to recruit him the whole time, but then they put him to work and he like helps build a shed. Shed falls down because he hears the lunch call, so he just drops it. He nails a board to his fake hand.
Oh.
And then the night happens, spends the night, and they're all looking for him in the morning. And they're like, where's Brother Munson? Because Roy Munson is his name.
Okay.
And he comes running up to the house. He goes, morning, everyone. Took the liberty of milking your cow this morning.
Oh, no.
She was a little stubborn to get going, but we got her.
No.
And the dad goes, we don't have a cow. We have a bull. As he's mid-chug on the pail.
Oh, no.
It's
Oh, my
so good.
God.
That's like, that movie, I watched it recently. It's probably I think it's from the like mid-90s.
It sounds
So-
straight out of the
It
mid-90s.
held up so well. I
Yeah.
was crying at multiple scenes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, now I'm intrigued.
Okay.
The Amish.
Okay.
I hate to be ignorant. The rules are no technology, correct?
I don't know if they use technology now, like in phones or whatever. I don't
Right.
know. But yeah, pretty like, I don't know how to say it. Like, yeah, no TV, no vehicles. It's like living the way that people lived in like the 1800s.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Would those be Puritans? Is that time or no?
Puritan, well, I think Puritans were kind of a religious sect that came over on like the Mayflower.
Right. I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew the Mayflower.
Yeah. So the Puritans were like the early Americans in like the 1600s.
1600s. Okay.
Yeah. The Amish, I think the Amish, and there's Hutterites who are similar to Amish. I don't know the difference between them, but kind of similar gimmick where they're
Gimmick.
where they're farming and doing their thing.
They repackaged the character a little bit.
They came with the Hutterites.
They were the acolytes. Now they're the APA.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. So, if that's the case, can you still bowl, but then you have to set up the pins?
I would say, yeah, if I was going to guess, you would have to set up the pins and also keep score by hand.
Right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it'd be like, actually, it'd be a pain in the butt to go to a bowling alley. You should just like make a little thing at your house so you could have one
Yeah.
person setting up pins. Because imagine at a bowling alley, you can't support that.
Unclean.
Yeah, exactly. nobody likes someone walking down the bowling lane.
Oh, I right. That's what I meant. Sorry. Yeah, that they would, because I don't even know if you could shut that off.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So there is. I wonder if that's a thing. Amish bowling.
Yeah. Which is so cool.
Bowling with more steps.
Yeah.
You would have to put like a box or something behind the thing, so you're not walking out after the ball, right?
Oh, that's true. Because they have no ball retrieval either.
Speaking of, I was going for one of my hot girl walks the other night, and this dude in my neighborhood just like had, I swear to God, 15 bowling balls in his front yard.
Huh?
Just all lined up. They look sick. Like, they look like marbles. They had like all these cool designs on them.
Okay.
But I was like, this is the strangest flex I think I've ever seen in my life.
Bowling ball front yard.
Bowling ball. Like,
different.
but he was like cleaning them or something.
In the front yard?
Yeah. Like, he was just like, check this shit out. Good for you, dog. Like, I don't know what this means.
Hey, brother, you throw a hook?
Bro. I literally was like, it's like he's begging for somebody to talk to him about bowling.
Yeah.
But I don't even know how it start the conversation.
Yeah. What do you
like,
say?
You do cosmic? Like, what do we do here? You know? I have no idea. But yeah. All right, we'll be back. We're at Circle K. And we're back.
We're back.
That break was brought to you by Circle K and Hershey's One Bars. Well, technically it would be one bar, Hershey's flavored.
They're the one for you.
But
We're loving it. One bars.
Any of those brands we just referenced, we are accepting sponsorships.
Yeah. I think our jingles would be very appealing.
Oh yeah.
To the masses.
Speaking of jingles,
Let's go.
da-da-da, da-da-da.
Oh.
See that?
Welcome to the class center.
You see it?
Here we go. Today's menu.
Extended, I would say. What?
All right. Extended menu. It's on
We got
the
a lot
menu.
to go over.
What?
We got a lot to go over.
We got a lot to go over, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Guys, today we're covering the absolute pitfalls, downfalls, and marriage falls of Boston sports.
Oh, damn it.
We are also covering a fun story that was covered on a previous podcast that was since eaten by the cloud.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, we'll see what else comes up. But first and foremost, the state of Boston sports right now is in absolute despair.
Woof.
We are going to start with, in order of, gosh, I don't even know what the most significant, probably the least significant because it's earliest in the season, is the Red Sox. They're off to a horrible start, and they just fired their manager along with 5 other coaches.
Whoa.
Earlier this week.
Cleaning house.
Their manager, Alex Cora, won a World Series with them in 2018. Absolutely beloved, respected by everyone in the game. So everyone is very cranky with the Red Sox and how they're doing. Lots of issues with like their front office. Everyone, including myself, is a little salty with the general manager and the owners for how they're running their team the last few years.
I'm salty too then.
And then Devin's salty too, that's right.
Yeah. It's messed up, guys.
So that happened this week. I believe yesterday the Bruins lost in the playoffs. So they're out.
I saw that at the gym.
Today, the Celtics officially blew a 3-1 lead in the playoffs to the 76ers, who
Crazy.
had never come back from a 3-1 deficit in the playoffs in their franchise's history.
Listen, if the Celtics are going to be heels, they're going to put the babies over big. All right?
Yeah.
Good job, boys.
Yeah. But the problem is, I would argue the Sixers' star player, Joel Embiid, is like a big heel.
Well, just... All right.
I see what you're saying.
Babyface's got to take some hits, I guess.
Like we did tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We're like the Celtics tonight. And all of this is happening in the midst of the New England Patriots coach scandal, Coach Vrabel with Diana. I don't even know how to say her name.
Is it Rossini?
Rossini sounds good.
Rossini. What would... Never mind. I was going to say, what dish is that at a Italian restaurant?
Ooh.
I'll take the Rossini.
does sound like that.
It's one where they
Red
treat
sauce.
you like her husband and just make fun of you while they watch you eat it. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Whew.
My bad.
We are going in the class center.
I'm sorry.
This is like, if you ever watch Sports Center, like they always had Sports Center, then Sports Center LA, and the two guys were just like having a great time, and they were a little more loose with what they could say.
Yeah.
Stan, let's see, Neil Everett and Stan Verrett, something like that.
Okay.
They were awesome. But that's apparently what we're doing now, which is great. So, all right. Here's the latest news I've heard about the scandal there.
Okay.
So, okay, first off.
Yeah, give like a general overview.
So, a few weeks ago now, NFL did some had some sort of meeting in Sedona, Arizona.
Oh yeah, that's crazy that happened in Sedona.
In Sedona,
too,
of
right?
course, yeah. So, like coaches, reporters, I think front office, maybe owners, I don't like all the suits were there for the NFL for a few days of meetings. Some pictures surfaced of Mike Vrabel, Patriots head coach, and Diana Rossini holding hands, kind of like maybe in a yoga class, right? Something like that. Like you're standing across from each other, like kind of hands out, and you're holding hands. There was one of those photos. I think there was a photo of them hugging, and there's a photo of them together in a hot tub.
Yeah.
Okay, so that hit the press. Boom. Everyone's blowing up about it. At first, they're like, deny, nothing happened, blah, blah, blah. This was taken out of context. We're professionals. Deny, whatever. Well, fast forward, it got worse. More information came out. Diana Rossini left her job at I believe it's The Atlantic.
Yes,
She's like a
The Atlantic.
very high-profile NFL reporter for The Atlantic. Has a pretty solid history of just like being a credible reporter. She left her position. Her kind of statement was like, by leaving my position, I am not agreeing with the allegations. I'm simply getting ahead of it and creating less, essentially, of a headache for myself, because I don't want to have to then deal with all the negativity that's going to come, and then more if I continue to work at my job. I'm taking a step back.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Concept.
But she has all the while denied what happened. Both of which are married. Okay, let's establish that to other people.
Whoa.
She's denied there was anything going on. Vrabel has recently come out, from my understanding, and said that there was something that happened.
Yeah.
They were in a relationship. They were sleeping together, which completely contradicted her position at that point. Which is like, oh God, all right, this is continuing to get messy.
Yeah.
She left her job. Vrabel admitted that they were a thing, and then he entered himself in some sort of therapy program. We're not sure exactly what for or exactly why, but I don't know if this episode aired, but we talked about before how sometimes celebrities, coaches, athletes will enter rehab as an image saver.
Like with Puka, right?
Like
It was
with
like a theory. I'm not saying that's what happened.
Right, same, yeah.
It was a theory.
But it happens a lot, and it always seems to happen at the tail end of something that's going on, and it usually is like an image saver, because if you go through rehab, you behave for a few months, then you come out smelling like a rose. Hey, I changed, whatever. I'm sure it really happens, but I'm sure it probably has happened where people are like, all right, let's do this for our image.
Yeah.
So we're kind of there. Here's where it gets kind of interesting. I think, so what they've done is, that's adultery, right? Let's just come out and say it. That's kind of what it is. I don't think adultery is necessarily illegal in the eyes of the NFL. It's obviously frowned on and not something that's a good look or a good image, but it's for Vrabel, I don't know. It depends on each team, right? I don't know if it's necessarily something that is going to cost him his job. People are theorizing that it might, but Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, is very, I don't want to say notoriously, but very has a reputation of always having his guys' backs.
And
supporting
this
them.
isn't the first scandal in New England.
No. This
Especially
is
one with sexual undertones.
This is kind of lower on the totem pole.
Yeah,
of New
which is
England
crazy.
Scandals. Yeah.
And I don't think anybody was fired for any of the scandals. Yeah.
No. So, and Drake May just came out the other day and said he supports Coach supports Coach Vrabel and like has his back
Oh,
and
I
thinks he's
didn't
a
know
great
that.
coach.
Interesting.
So Drake May is like one of the 2 poster children of Boston sports right now.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a big move. So it seems like the NFL community is rallying behind Coach Vrabel. Some of the perspectives I'm reading is like, look, this is his personal life. It's a shitty thing. It has nothing to do with his ability to coach and lead men.
I have a question about this.
Sure.
Because, and I'm not trying to be all white knighty, okay?
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand the difference. And I just want your opinion, because I have my own theory. So, she's getting donked on.
Yeah.
All right? I'm not saying it's because she's the woman and he's the guy.
Yeah.
That could certainly be part of it.
Yeah.
I'm also not saying that's not true, because I absolutely 100% believe there's a demographic of people who are simply of that theology.
Yeah.
Or ideology. Theology is religion.
Yeah.
Which
I knew what you meant.
could play a part here. Anyways. So, Vrabel, like, they're backing him up, whatever. The girl's getting donked on, Diana.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of it has to do with how she's talked about her husband in the media?
I think that has certainly some to do with it. Because before, like, forget any of the scandal stuff, like, there are, like, and all these clips are coming up
Yeah,
now.
a lot.
There are so many clips of her being really dismissive of her husband.
Dude,
publicly.
horrible.
On the news, on TV,
Oh.
on reports, like, just horrible stuff to where if my wife said those things, we would probably be filing divorce papers very quickly.
Heartbroken.
Yeah. Number 1 time, having a very stern conversation. Number 2, we're done.
Yeah.
Like, the stuff that she was saying was just awful.
She said that, like, if I had a man as attractive as him, I would post him all the time, but my husband's average, so I don't post him at all.
Yep.
Crazy.
That
Crazy
was, like,
thing to say.
one of the many things that are
Yeah.
of that caliber, if not worse.
So I wonder is that it? Like,
I think so. Like, let's like kind of build a case, right?
okay.
So there's all those, and I don't know a lot about her. I certainly know more about Vrabel than I know about her. But like what we know, just kind of the casual people looking in, there's all these clips that have come up about this. There's been rumors of her and Vrabel being together for a while off the books, right?
And those other pictures came out.
And the other
from
pictures
6 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Which her son is 5 years old, 6 years old.
The timing worked out as such to where her and Vrabel were in the same spot around the same time. His son was born 9 months later, and the son's name
is Mike. God damn it! What are we doing here?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
That's insanity.
So it seems as though she has a little bit of a reputation or a little bit of like a personality about her. And there's another, so going to another one of those quotes, I know you know this one.
Yep.
She is on some interview saying like, I partied so hard down in Miami. I did things that I can't even talk about. I did things I haven't even told my husband about.
Crazy.
Right? So that's like, this
on
is
national TV.
National TV.
Crazy thing to say.
This is kind of like, okay, we're building the case. Now, let's look at Vrabel. Up to this point, he like is absolutely beloved by his teammates, by all the players, and you rarely hear anyone speak poorly about him.
Right.
As far as his, I haven't heard much about his personal life stuff, but like football teammate, guy in the locker room, everything is very positive.
Yeah.
So I think if we're looking at those two things, I think that also lends into what you're talking about and like how she's getting dunked on and how he's getting a little bit more support because he has this like long lineage of building up credibility, respect, and admiration from his peers. Whereas I don't know, and again, I don't know as much about her, so I might be speaking out of turn. I hope I'm not. Just looking at it from where we're at, I see less of that from her. And being a journalist is very different than being a professional football player.
That was going to be my second question.
Like it's a very competitive field from what I understand. So even if she did nothing wrong ever, whether it's a man or a woman, if you get to the top to where she's at making an insane amount of money, people are going to say like, well, how the fuck did she get that? how the fuck did he get that? You know, it's just very competitive from what I understand. Whereas the NFL, Vrabel has 3 Super Bowls and he's got 100 different guys he played with who will vouch for him as being an awesome dude and an awesome teammate, you know?
Right. So, with that, I don't know if you saw this, but there is a woman reporter who spoke out against her.
I've seen a couple.
Who said, this woman, I'm blanking on her name and I apologize, she was fired because she said, this is an embarrassment to women in this field. The fact that this happened and has set us back, and we fight so hard for this, and for you to get that spot. And while some of us are being accused of sleeping our way to those positions, while you are so brash about it, and like she went off on her, I'm paraphrasing the quote.
Of course.
But those were along the lines.
Yeah.
And they fired her.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not going to say my opinion. That's certainly this woman's opinion. And I think it's a very valid one because she's a woman in that field.
Yeah.
I am not. So I don't know. I'm kind of frustrated that she got fired because she's speaking for what she believes in and something that, as a woman in that field, has probably dealt with her whole life. As a woman in any field, really. Like, you hear it all the time. I work in an all-woman workplace. Like, there's shit that they've told me they've been accused of where I'm like, that's horrifying. And just because they were good at their job.
Yeah.
And so that, to me, left a sour taste in my mouth because I'm like, damn, like, we're really, firing this person for kind of speaking up for a very valid issue. And so I'm curious your thoughts on that. Like, I don't think that was maybe a suspension of like, hey, you're being unprofessional. You can argue that. But like, to fire someone for that, it seems like you're kind of proving the point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that. Because like, if a guy in the NFL was like, yeah, that's fucked up. Like, you're going to be a coach and stepping out on your family, blah, blah, blah. That's his opinion. Or like analysts, right?
Well,
analysts have said that.
Do you know there's a guy, Chris Sims, who's a famous analyst. He was
I've heard that name.
Quarterback for a brief period. His
Yes.
dad is a famous, I believe, quarterback and analyst. He was fired from a job years ago for talking about this exact thing.
Really?
Yeah, and I this is something I will look more into. But I read a couple headlines when I was doing some research for this that Chris Sims was fired because he was bringing this exact situation up years ago without directly saying
Vrabel and Diana?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he's like a high-profile dude.
Why are they protecting these people so much?
Who knows?
Huh, okay.
So, like, with the girl, a couple things. There's obviously going to be a lot more to the story. Like, does she have a reputation of being a pain in the butt?
Difficult to work with, sure.
Has she gotten reprimanded before for speaking out like this? We don't know. Or did it come out of left field?
Right.
And we don't know. So I think just taking it at face value of this thing happened, she spoke up, let's assume she has no other issues, demerits, whatever you want to call them. To me it seems unfair, and also it's like this is kind of a debate where it comes down to like, okay, she got fired by a privately owned company. Is it for them to decide, like, can they kind of fire you for whatever they want, or is there like more rights than that?
Right.
What does that come down to?
That's fair. Yep.
It's again, we talked about this, I don't know, like an hour ago, but there's my logical brain going like, what are we gonna do?
And my emotional brain going, let the woman speak. She's saying how she feels. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
And if it's a private company and they see it as unprofessional, that's within the rules of firing, I guess.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I agree with it.
You're right. Yeah, exactly.
Which, like, logically, sure. Okay, she broke this rule, which can be punished by firing. But to me, it's like, fucking really?
Yes.
Okay, right. I guess. But then we start playing, well, are we holding everyone to that standard?
Yep.
Oh, no, of course we're not, because we're human.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we're not going to do that. We're going to pick and choose.
Yep.
And that's when it becomes frustrating.
That's when it becomes super frustrating.
But that's
with you.
Life. Like,
yeah.
there's no other way to, it's not going to change.
Yeah.
So I guess controlling your emotions. Not her, me. Like,
I know,
getting
that's
mad
why I'm
about it.
laughing.
Where like,
That's
I
why I'm
can't do anything. Like, all right, that sucks. But okay.
Yeah.
All right. Little sidebar there. Sorry.
No,
I was just so mad when I heard that. I was like, we can't even say our opinions about this. Like, she's probably really affected by this kind of shit.
Yeah.
Or also, and I have no idea, she like had a professional rivalry with this person and took it as a chance to bury her even further.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it felt to me when I read the quote like, oh, that's a very valid perspective. And then to find out they got fired for it, I was like, well, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're right. Logically, I can follow that reasoning, even if I don't agree with it.
Yeah. Same.
Okay.
So here's the last thing I want to say about that. So, okay, shortly after the scandal came out, there was a report that Diana assisted and helped pull a car crash victim and his dog from the car.
Yeah.
Well, guess what came out 2 days ago? An eyewitness account reported that no, she did not do any of that. She held the dog's leash.
Yes.
She was there. This one I want to say with like a grain of salt. Who knows? But it was very interesting that I was surprised about how quickly this thing came out about her assisting pulling a burning victim out. Like, what a shift in image right after a horrible thing came out about you, and then to hear this eyewitness be like, no, that's not what happened.
What a crazy thing to say, to lie about, if it was lied about.
If it was lied about, yeah. So that's the latest, is no, she did not pull anyone from the car. She held the dog in the leash after the dog was removed from the car.
But was it her husband who did? I forgot who it said who did.
I think it was her husband.
Okay.
I don't think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would be surprised. I don't know if they're together in public anymore.
Yeah, right. Who knows?
Well, that's the other thing, too, is the rumor has it, people are suspecting and thinking that there's two theories on who published the pictures.
Yeah.
One is that he hired a private investigator because he was worried. And then another one I saw this week was that it was just like a random, the ones from Sedona, a random fan who knew them both took pictures, published them. So I've seen a couple. I personally like the private investigator one the best.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a well-executed, gotcha.
Dude.
And so, if he was being treated as all of her public statements show, which, whether they're real or not, she said them.
Yeah.
So if she was treating him like that in public on national TV, I wonder what was going on behind closed doors.
Yep.
I can see why he's going scorched earth.
100%. Yeah. So, as this is a developing story, certainly more to come on this as more information comes out.
What a crazy world.
Just wild.
Did you see that? So, Vrabel was saying, he did get dunked on for this, where he was like, oh, I'm going to take some time away after the first 2 days of the draft or whatever.
Yeah.
So so you're going to do your job and then try to say all right, I'm going to take time away when you can't. Okay, whatever. But that's besides the point.
Yeah.
I think it was a first round pick where he was he was on the phone. He's like, I hope you're spending time with your family, brother. Or something like that. And then immediately he just kind of looks. I was like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
What a crazy thing to say and get caught saying right now.
Right.
And everyone was like, oh, interesting.
Uh-huh.
Interesting, that's your advice.
Uh-huh.
What a crazy thing. Yeah. But yeah, obviously it's more nuanced than that.
Of course.
Being in that position and all that. But it is pretty crazy to be caught saying that and blasted for it.
Yeah. It's like the look when he says it is like, oh, I forgot I can't say this. And I sound like an asshole.
I forgot I just had my affair exposed.
Publicly exposed to the entire world.
Well, and then I saw that she was wearing the ring out in public. I saw that too.
Oof.
And so I was like, that begs the question of, I mean, that, and like you said earlier, the fact that if we punished cheating in pro sports,
oh, dude,
we wouldn't have pro sports.
Yeah, all the athletes would be screwed.
Yeah, sorry. It's, truly sorry that's how the culture and society is. And also, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Again, that's how it is. You're not going to change it anytime soon. And the amount of marriages that are either speculated or just like flat out admitted, like, yeah, like I live this lifestyle, I turn the other way.
Yep.
You know? And so
because my husband makes
yep.
$300 million in the next 8 years.
Yeah.
So I'm taken care of for my life.
And if that's the agreement, who are we to judge that?
We're no one to judge that.
If these people are living and being fulfilled and doing all, you can say, "Oh, I wouldn't want that." No, you're not in that position, so who cares? Your opinion means nothing. So stop shouting it as if it's fact, even if you don't agree with it. Who am I to tell these people how to live and how to have their relationships? I don't understand it. I don't see that for myself, and also I don't have any opinion on them. It holds no value. So I think people get themselves really worked up over that. But he was an athlete first, you know?
And a very successful one.
Yeah. And I think you were saying, like, kind of a partier.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know what that looks like in terms of their relationship. Nobody knows except them and probably close friends.
Yep.
So the speculation of, and that's what I don't want, is like her to get flamed, the wife, for staying or something, when like she's already going through this public embarrassment because now it's turned into negative and now she's subject to all this ridicule. And then if she stays because she's like, well, yeah, like that's our agreement. And then people are going to get even more mad at her for staying. You know what I mean? Like that's such a weird position.
Yeah.
And unfortunate that, because I've also heard that like high level celebrities or athletes, like the deal is don't get caught.
Yeah.
Don't embarrass me.
Yep.
And keep it out of the house.
Yep.
Shit like that.
Yep.
And it's like, well, he failed at one of those.
Yep.
And to dogpile on her more with whatever they decide to do seems a bit unfair.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, we don't know. We can't like unfortunately we can't go inside their home and like listen to their conversations.
Yeah.
And know what their agreements are, know what their conversations are, know what is going through their minds. That is for them to know. So it's fun and interesting for us to talk about these things as we're reading about them. And also, I hope, I don't know, it's going to sound so cheesy. I feel like such a therapist saying this. We're trying to do so without judgment.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're very real people with real emotions and real struggles. And I get it. They're super rich. They're successful. And also, humans are human.
Humans are human.
There's going to be emotions and all of that tied into this, and now like probably trauma, and now these kids are subject to like, well, you know your dad, blah, blah. So, oh my god, like come on, man.
Yep.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
What a weird situation.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go quickly through this next part, and then we'll get to our
main event.
Heck so yeah. Okay. This is like one of my favorite sports stories.
Yeah.
And I just think it's like one of the most incredible human achievements of just weird athleticism that you can ever imagine. So go back to I believe it's like 1967, 68, Summer of Love, and we're looking at Major League Baseball. There's a pitcher for the Pirates, Doc Ellis. He's an average pitcher. I think one All-Star game he made in his 10-year career. Good, fine, average, not bad. So the Pirates had a game in San Diego. They flew there a day early. He landed in San Diego, went to see some friends in LA. Over the course of the next 12 hours, he took 3 hits of acid.
Which is a lot.
Right?
Okay.
He was tripping balls.
Okay.
Lost track of time, as one might do when they're on 3 hits of acid.
Time is relative. So.
Yeah, exactly. The next day rolls around. He doesn't realize that it's the next day. Noon. Takes another hit of acid at noon.
What's this guy's name?
Doc Ellis.
Doc,
yeah. Someone reminds him that he has to be in San Diego in 4 hours for his game against the Padres. And oh, by the way, he's scheduled to pitch. So they get him to the airport. They fly him down there. They pick him up, take him to a car. He gets there like 90 minutes before the game starts. Still tripping balls. He talks to his catcher. He smartens him up, apparently, about what's happening. And the catcher like puts a lot of extra tape around his fingers, very reflective tape, to help him see the signs that he's putting down.
Okay.
And then Doc talks about like how he was like, things were just wavy on him, things were moving. He thought the umpire was Richard Nixon at one point, or maybe multiple points, and he was like, he just felt like he was out of his mind. This guy, who's an average pitcher, throws a no-hitter, which means that he got every single of the 27 outs in a baseball game without giving up a single hit. Now, he had several walks, which is fair to be expected, but he did not give up a single hit in the entire game. To put that in perspective about how rare this is, I'm going to ballpark the number, but it's close-ish. Baseball statistics have been being recorded in some level since 1875.
Whoa.
Much more specifically since like 1900.
Okay.
There have been about, I want to say about 350 no-hitters ever thrown.
Okay.
So think of all of the teams playing 120 in the early days, 150, now 162 games every single year for well over 100 years.
Yeah.
Do the math on how many games that is. A no-hitter is almost statistically impossible.
Yeah.
This dude threw a no-hitter while he was off his rocker on acid. It's a fun story.
He's really 101.
Really, he's 101 for
Only one
sure.
to do that.
Yep.
I would imagine.
Yep.
I would pop big time if like every time they do the stats for perfect games, they like put an asterisk.
Yeah.
And they put like sober.
Yeah.
And it's one tripping balls.
Yeah. Yes, that would be appropriate.
Like these assholes had to do it sober.
Yeah.
This guy was way too fun.
One of one. So there's a really good documentary on Netflix. I can't remember what it's called, but the thumbnail is, you see Doc in his Pirates uniform, and then there's like psychedelic kind of colors woven throughout.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a fun watch. So
That'd probably be a sick poster.
Oh, for sure. And
Yeah.
it's like, you got to think like culturally what was happening at that time. You got the Summer of Love. You had like rock and roll absolutely taking off. You had people starting to protest Vietnam. So like the sex, drugs, and rock and roll thing was like popping off around this time. So yeah, it really fit. So yeah, if you want to go look this up, even on Wikipedia, it's a fun, quick read about some fun, interesting information about like one of the most impressive athletic achievements I've ever heard about.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening to the Class Center.
I thought that was the main event?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said a fun side story and then the main event.
Well, I thought it main event, you meant our new thing we're going to try.
Oh, okay. My bad. My fault.
Oh, we good?
Have you seen, this is a total sidebar. There's a reel where this guy, he's in like a Tesla, right? And he pulls up and there's this like 17-year-old kid in a BMW M3, whatever.
Okay.
And he's like, ha, you probably got that with your daddy's money, huh? And he's like, yeah. And he goes, what? Like, your dad bought you that? He goes, yeah, he did. He goes, well, how much? He goes, 170, I think. He's like, don't you want to like earn it with your own money? He goes, so you're telling me, if your dad came up to you and said, hey, I got you this car, and it's a BMW M3, whatever, you're just gonna say no?
Yeah.
He's like, well, no, but like it means so much more when you get it with your own, like this. And then the kid like looks out the window and looks at his car. He goes, is that a Tesla? The guy's like, yeah. He goes, oh, did it come with pads or? It says roasted him, dude. And then at one point, the kid goes, what is this? The like Economo thing? Or he asked him how much he paid. He goes, how much you pay per month? He goes, like 500. He goes, probably what, 9 years? And he goes, like 84 months. He goes, yeah, 9 years. Okay, 500 for 9. Well, how much did your dad pay a monthly? He goes, I buy cash. And he just keeps roasting him, bro. And then he asked him, like, what is this, the economy? And then he goes, no, it's the performance. And the kid goes, my fault.
No
And then
way.
it cuts out. Like think it just obliterates him.
Wow.
It's probably scripted, but I watch it every time just to get to the my fault.
Yeah.
Like he's so like a douchebag about it. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, I love that.
All right, so main event. But how do we want to? We're not going to do questions this week because we answered all the questions.
Yeah.
While having adult beverages and some of us eating Scooby snacks.
Yeah.
And we're out of questions.
We're fresh out.
It was brought to my attention by Johnny Espinoza that he goes, y'all, you already answered my question.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we answered one of his questions on that Q&A that we had already answered previously.
Happy hour, Johnny. Happy hour.
And that's where I say, my fault.
Is that why you told that story?
No.
Okay.
It was just a good time.
Okay.
I forgot why I told that story. It's been living rent free in my head. I love that reel.
Amazing.
Okay, what do you want to call this? Oh yeah, so no questions. We're gonna do something else. Class came up with this today. He wanted to write a book, which I think there's still value in.
Yeah.
We could do something really cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, and it kind of goes hand in hand with how the segment is like each. I'm not analogy. I almost said allegory. Each analogy is on, like, let's say we open the book, right?
Yeah.
It's one analogy per, like, you're looking at it as if it's one page, but
Yep.
it's both pages.
Yep.
One side is like encyclopedia-esque, and then the other side is like pop-up picture almost. Like, with color and illustration about, like, my explanation.
Yeah.
But, like, bad illustrations. Like, I'll draw them.
They're not bad.
Like, they're not good. Like, it's just stick figures.
But, like, so something for everyone is what we're saying.
Yes. Really, that's what the Pretty City Express is all about.
We have a little something for everyone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to explain kind of where you came up with it and why? And maybe we'll workshop a name.
We'll workshop a name, yeah.
Yeah.
So, a lot of our time in the road, and like kind of and you guys heard some of it tonight, just kind of like the way we communicate about like serious, kind of more personal life things, is either like I'll talk about a concept from my work from psychology that I'm like doing with a patient, or I'll talk about like an interaction I had or like an issue that came up, and I'll kind of interpret it and explain it from the perspective of a psychologist. And like, I don't need to explain it. Basically, for Devin to make sense of that, he goes, oh, like in wrestling, it's like yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, yes, exactly. Because like, you're laughing, but I think it's really cool. And I think this is how people like understand things. Like, you're just clarifying what I'm saying. You're like, this is good communication, right? You're clarifying what I'm saying with an example from yourself that you understand and that I understand.
Yes.
So you're clarifying, and if I was going to say, no, it's not quite like that, it's like this. But every time you nail it, I'm like, yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
So he does that from a wrestling perspective, and then vice versa. When he's like going through something and I explain it from a psychological perspective, then we turn it into, or he turns it into like a wrestling perspective to relate to it.
Yeah.
It's very fun. So my idea was like, how fun would it be if we wrote a book with like psychological explanations to problems people have, and then the wrestling explanation to those same problems.
Yeah.
Very fun.
We could call it a touch of the tism.
Touch of the tism.
I can say that. My brother got me a shirt that says I'm certified touch of the tism.
Oh, well, in that case.
Did I tell you what happened on my birthday?
No.
For my birthday dinner?
No.
So my brother, Diego, who is, I was talking about this, I think with my sisters the other day, which context matters. Like, we all agree, but if I just say my brother, I was talking about how my brother is my favorite person on the earth to my sisters. It's kind of fucked up, but we're all in agreement. He's on the spectrum, and he He's very high functioning and very smart. And he got me a shirt for Christmas that is a like stick figure raccoon. And it said "Rhythm with the Tism." And it's probably my favorite shirt.
Yep.
So, like, I wear it to the gym sometimes. And I always wonder, I wore it one time to family Christmas. And they all, like, looked at me and I went, Diego got it for me.
Yeah.
can't say shit. And so he texts me the week before, because my mom, like, clarified it in the family group chat. She said, hey, can you come over Sunday for your birthday? I was like, yeah, okay. That sounds good. And then my brother texts me right after, and he goes, hey, can you wear this shirt? And he sent me a picture of it to Sunday because I bought a matching one and the family doesn't know.
Let's go.
And I was like 100%.
Yep.
So we matched raccoon Rhythm with the Tism shirts, and I told him, my sisters caught on right away. Like, you guys are so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then I told him, I go, you know mom's not going to notice, right? And then hours go by. And finally we were sitting on the couch together, and I, like, said something, and she went, hey! Hey! And I looked at him and I went, I told you. And he goes, yeah. So, yeah, Touch of the Tism. That's what the segment's called.
Love it.
That's one of my favorite. He also, one of my favorite bits is Diego getting matching shirts with us.
Yeah.
Because I think I told you about for Anaya.
Yes.
Diego, this is why he's my favorite person. He bought Anaya a nursing school graduation present. And I can't believe he did this. It's so cool. I'm going to steal this idea from him one day. It was in a bag, and he was like, all right, he was very particular about everyone needing to witness her opening this. And I was like, oh, like, he's really excited about it. That's awesome. And he bought her a shirt that had this guy floating on, like, a life tube in the sun. He's, like, sunburned. He's got a bucket hat. And it said, like, this is my hoochie mama shirt or something like that. And she opens it and she goes, oh, this is awesome. And we're, like, all laughing. And then she goes, oh, there's another shirt. And she unfolds it. It's the same shirt. The same exact shirt. This is my hoochie mama shirt. She goes, a second one? And he snatches it from her and goes, yep, that's mine. He goes, we're matching. I've never laughed so hard. The whole family popped. We were like, I can't believe this just happened. I'm like, dude, that's the coolest way to give a gift ever.
Incredible.
So that's become my favorite Diego bit recently, is him buying matching ridiculous shirts that we then wear with him. But yeah, so the segment.
Touch of the Tism.
Yeah. Because that is how my brain works. Just every time you explain something, I think it helps because, like you said, like, we both understand wrestling, and so it helps communicate, like, oh, okay, no, I understand what you're saying, like, because I didn't go to school to be a psychologist.
Yeah.
So if I hear you break it down, which you do really well, I'm able to then, oh, okay, it's like this.
Yeah.
And that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yep.
And I told you earlier, I do it in real life.
Yeah.
And it's not met with the same enthusiasm. It's more like, okay, sure, Dev. Like, if that's what helps you. And then it turns into me like, this sounds crazy, but, like, in wrestling, there's this thing, and I'll, like, talk about it, and I go, so this kind of reminds me because, like, that's the heel, and this is the, and I'll, like, go into it, and they'll just go, yeah, okay.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, sorry, I messed that up. But I do try to, a big thing that I try to do is create analogies. I think it helps a ton with coaching.
Yeah.
And there's times where I'll, like, some of them just fall so flat.
Yep.
I'll, like, talk to them, I go, okay, have you ever done this? And they're like, yeah. And I went, so it's kind of like that because, and I'll draw it, and I just see them, and I go, forget everything I just said. That's not helping you. And they're like, okay, thank you. And then there's sometimes where you nail it, and they're like, holy crap, that's what it is.
Yep. Yep.
All right. So what's the first one?
So what we're gonna try. He's gonna explain something that we were talking about earlier in the car.
That's right.
I'm gonna kind of break it down from, like, how I would talk through it with someone I'm working with.
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of go back and forth like that. See how this comes off.
Yeah. I think it's a very interesting dynamic because there are no clinical practicing psychologists in wrestling.
That's right.
So getting that, and I know there's some wrestlers that listen to us. I think that you'd get a lot from it because I get a lot from it when we talk about it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
One of the things we were talking about earlier today was how and we kind of alluded to it earlier, that first, well, he wasn't my first psychologist, or psychiatrist. The psychiatrist who kind of like left me out to dry, which again, he probably was going through stuff. Like I'm not, it sounds mad when I say that, I'm not. It is what it is. And I remember he said something after he read my test. He goes, all right now, what's going on is your brain is acting separately. I don't know if he said heart, but that's how I interpreted it. And so you are having these thoughts that you're not feeling, if that makes sense. So you don't have control over your thoughts. And that's a really scary thing, because for me, I was like, oh, I'll think something, and then my brain will just spiral. And it'll start going down, like rabbit hole, worst possible scenario. There have been several times in my life where like something weird happens, and I'll spiral. This happened at work when I worked at Harkins, of all places, where I would spiral into like, oh, I'm going to die today. Like today is the day that this happens or whatever.
Yeah.
And I told you that like sometimes during matches, like I'll go over the match in my head, and this is crazy, but this actually shows how much progress I've made. There are several matches actually a large percentage of matches that we'll call or whatever, and we're going over it in the back. And I've never told you this. Well, maybe I have, but not in the moment, because that'd be crazy. It's a crazy thing to say out loud. But I would go, okay, if I'm going to die in this match, it's this moment. And that's an insane thing to think. And at first it freaked me out. And then I was just like, you know what? For some reason, because I have this knowledge that sometimes my brain comes up with thoughts that maybe I didn't want it to, but I have to learn to just go, okay, I don't know why that thought popped in my head, but I can either react to it and get in my head and go, oh my God, I'm going to die like I used to, or I go, that's a crazy thing to think. And then just move on.
Yeah.
And I'll not allow it to derail everything that's about to happen. And so that's what I've gotten really good at, I feel like. I've gotten good at it. I'm not great at it, but I've gotten good at it.
Yeah, you're working on it.
Yeah.
And it's getting better and better.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And so with that, I was thinking about it today, and we were talking about the dreams I've been having and how this week was the first week that I had that dream. It was different than it was in the past couple weeks. And I woke up and I was just like, why? Okay, that sucked. Like, I had that dream again, but I can either be depressed all day, or I can go, okay, my brain is still processing what happened, and this is how it's doing that. All right, and move on.
Yep.
And so the past couple of weeks, I've let it totally derail my entire life. And this is the first week where I was like, oh, now I'm understanding. Because with the help of Natalie and you and Max, they've all said like, yeah, your brain is processing the thing that it went through.
Yeah.
And it's doing that through, because I've never had dreams on this, like the same dream in different versions on this routine of a schedule. And it like really freaked me out for a couple weeks. And now I'm go, okay, my brain is obviously processing something. So I need to allow it to process and kind of go with the flow.
Yep.
And not like, oh, my brain's telling me this, it must be true. But just, okay, my brain is processing this. I have to just control how I react to it and how I feel about it. Mm-hmm. Which, yeah, it sucks. I don't want to have this dream. I don't want to think about this anymore, but that's not really an option. Because I don't have control over that. So I have control over how I react to the thoughts, not the thoughts themselves.
Yep.
And today I was like talking to you about it, and I go, you know what? It's kind of like my heart and my brain are having a match.
Yes.
And it used to be, how I first interpreted what the psychiatrist told me was my brain and my heart are fighting. And they're fighting. my brain will go off on its own thing, create its own thoughts. Some of them, most of them at that time, really bad. And then my heart would go, all of these things are true.
Yep.
Like, I feel like trash. I feel terrible. I feel depressed. I feel et cetera, because my brain is telling me these things. And that's what a fight is. A fight is a competition where it's like, no, I'm going to beat you. You're not going to beat me, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
A wrestling match is a story where you're both working together to figure it out.
Yes.
And so, or a puzzle, I should say.
Yeah.
I look at a lot of matches like puzzles. Like, okay, let's say the brain, like that dream, I woke up and I go, all right, for lack of a better term, the brain is putting some heat on me right now. Like, all right, brain cut me off. I had a good day. It's my birthday. I woke up to this terrible dream. Big cutoff.
Yep. Boom.
So in a match, for those of you who don't wrestle, if the guy's just, the other guy or the other girl is just kind of riffing and listening to the crowd, and you start freaking out because, and this will happen a lot when like a veteran gets in there with a younger person, younger in the sport, where the vet's kind of like, oh, this crowd's hot. Like, let's see what we can get away with. Let's have some fun, you know? And it's almost like jazz, right?
Yep.
And so they start riffing, and they're like, and I've felt it before, where I go to lock up with someone, or I do something, and they're like, ah! I can feel them tense up.
Yep.
And they're like, hey, man, if you don't listen right now, and you fight this is going to go really bad. If you just listen and relax, we're going to have some fun right now.
Yep.
You know, like, we're going to have a good story. We're going to listen to what they're telling us to do through their reactions, not their words. And we're just going to riff and play a great song. But if you stiffen and you go, this isn't what we wrote, it's like, yeah, maybe they didn't want to hear what we wrote. But I know what they want. I can feel their heartbeat, so just listen. And my brain, sometimes, when it comes up with these thoughts, will just start doing stuff on the fly. And it used to be, oh my God, what's going on? This isn't what's supposed to happen, you know? And I would just go, I'm terrible. Like, I'm terrible at this. All these thoughts are true, blah, 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 blah. As opposed to, all right, brain's doing its thing right now.
Yep.
I'm just going to go with it. I'm not going to believe these things because we're working together. This isn't real.
Yep.
I'm just going to go with it, see where it goes. And then afterwards, I can look at the match, look at those thought processes, and go, where did that come from? So, like, the thoughts, right? I can go, why did that thought pop in my head? I don't know. Okay, well, what did it lead to? Why did it lead to, I'm a terrible person? Oh, that's because I feel like a terrible person because I allowed my brain to tell me that. Mm-hmm. Whereas I go, well, that's not true. Mm-hmm. Then I feel better. So it's like having tape study over what happened. Whereas in a match, if you're riffing like that, and if I just listen to the vet in the ring, right, and I'm doing whatever, and he's the brain, he's like coming up with all this stuff, and I'm just following. After the match, I can go and watch and go, I wonder why, or I can even talk to him, but I can go watch and go, why did he do that here? And then I listen to the crowd, and I go, oh, because that's kind of the rhythm he had, you know?
Yep.
Like, he understood because we did this, they were going to react to this. Because earlier in the night, I remember they popped big for this, so he went this direction and changed it. Like, that's when you start breaking it down, and it becomes, oh, I understand why my brain went into those thoughts. Now I know when it happens next time what I can do.
Yep.
And in a match, it's, oh, I know why he decided to do X, Y, Z. So next time I'm in the ring and somebody does X, Y, I know Z's next.
Yeah.
You know? Or I guess if we're working on the fly, he went C, F, X as opposed to whatever. I can go, oh, so now I know when I'm in that position again and this happens, it's going to go C, F, X. And that's kind of the same thing. So that's what really helped me decide, like, oh, my brain and my heart aren't fighting. They're actually having a match. And if you go with the flow and relax and just kind of feel and then think afterwards, your match is going to be way better. And you're going to be way more fulfilled with how you did. even if it wasn't an awesome match, you're gonna go, oh wow, I kind of had the heartbeat there, or like I felt the pulse for a second, you know.
Yeah.
Like I always say, when we go out, I try to find the pulse of the crowd, and there are times where we've had 4-minute matches where you go get it done, and I'm kind of mad, even though everything went kind of according to plan per se. I'll be like, I didn't feel them.
Yeah.
I couldn't get a beat on their pulse, and like that upsets me.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing. Like I let my thoughts control myself, and I'm frustrated now because I let it win.
Yeah.
As opposed to just letting them happen.
Yep.
And then afterwards going, well, why did that happen?
Yep.
What's going on? What's true and what's not?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how is it true? How is it not? What evidence do I have? And breaking it down that way. It's like tape study for thought processes.
Yeah.
Which is exhausting. But that's what helped me like come to terms with that. And realize, oh, just because my brain is wired a certain way to kind of go haywire sometimes doesn't mean I'm broken. It just means we're riffing. And my brain and my heart are having a match.
Yep.
On the fly, brother.
Yeah. That's perfect. That was such a good analogy. And that's like, it taps into something, a lot of things actually that I do with a lot of my patients. So like overall blanket term for what you're saying is you're practicing acceptance, right? You're accepting that your mind and your heart are having a match.
Yeah.
And that's going to be okay. You're accepting that you have these like wild thoughts that pop into your head and that you don't have a lot of control over what pops into your head, and that's okay. And you're accepting that you're going to figure it out and go back and watch tape and process it and be okay. It's all the accepting of that. So like when you talk about, okay, my brain and my heart are in a fight, it's because you're starting to like think a certain way and feel a certain way, but then you feel yourself going in that direction. You go, this is bad. I can't think like this. This is why this is so messed up.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. And then there you're down the rabbit hole. You're spiraling, and it's not good because you're fighting against it. Versus what you're saying, all right, we're working together. Let me just take a step back and see what's happening. What am I telling myself? And let me analyze it instead of trying to fight it.
Yep.
My favorite analogy to describe this process is the Chinese finger trap.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You put your fingers in the Chinese finger trap. Oh my gosh, I gotta get out. The harder I pull, the more stuck I get. To get out of a Chinese finger trap, you just need to make them come together, relax, accept that you're there, and the trap loosens. You can pull your fingers out.
Yeah.
Perfect analogy to explain exactly what you're saying. And one of my favorite things to say with the thoughts too is you kind of said it. You don't have any control over what pops into your head. What you do have control over is what you do with that information and your ability to learn how to catch that information, because
it's scary.
It's super scary. And a lot of thoughts we have are like half conscious or subconscious. Like we're not used to monitoring all of our thoughts that we have, especially when it comes to this negative thinking. It's like we kind of just like let it take us away down this rabbit hole, and then we're feeling like crap. Even if we're trying to fight it, we just go with it. Versus like, all right, what is a thought? It's just your brain firing. It doesn't mean that it's true. Like, have you ever had the thought like, I don't know, this is an example I use, I can't think of why, but like, I have lemon water every morning. What if I'm drowsy in the morning, I have the thought of like, what if I was a lemon? Well, I'm not a lemon.
Yeah.
Just because I had that thought doesn't make it true. Just because you have any thought doesn't make it true. Like you don't, but a lot of times we're accepting, especially the negative thoughts, as truth, and then we're having a feeling as if it's true, which is usually negative.
Yeah.
So what you're saying in learning to catch the unhelpful thoughts when they pop into your brain, learning to evaluate whether those thoughts are true or not. Most times when they're associated with negative emotion, they are untrue. And then how to change that moving forward so you're not stuck in this like pattern of feeling really crappy about a situation or whatever it is. There's a really great metaphor I like that I teach with people, and you can do like I've done this like in a mindfulness exercise with people. I've also if you Google this on Google or type it into YouTube, you'll find some like guided visualization exercises. But the analogy is leaves on a stream. And so the idea is, okay, let's just set the scene. Let's imagine You have this nice house, you live on this kind of nice stream, it's in the backyard, right? You have a little dock out there that you can go and sit and just relax. It's after work, you're gonna go down, you're gonna sit on your chair on the dock and just like wind down and relax from work. Well, as you're watching the water, you kind of like enjoying it, you enjoy watching it flow by. It's really nice. You hear the birds chirping, you can smell the grass and the trees around you. You can see some wildlife out there, maybe some ducks or maybe some geese out there. It's just great.
Yeah.
As you're staring at the water, you notice a stick float by. Comes into your conscious, you notice it, and then it leaves.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then you notice a couple leaves come by. They're in your field of vision, they're in your consciousness, and then they leave. So think about, if you're doing this exercise or want to think in this kind of style, you think about putting your thoughts that pop in your mind on those leaves, on those sticks, on those ducks, whatever they are.
Yeah.
They're out there, you see them, you notice them, but that doesn't mean they're a part of you and that they represent you, they define you. They're just out there, and even if especially when they're negative, notice it, okay, that's it, and let it go by.
Yeah.
Because it's just a thought. You can do that. You can leave it out there for a minute and kind of analyze it and tear it apart and like try to figure out why you're thinking that. But it's just, if you can just learn to accept that your thoughts are just your thoughts, they don't define you, and then you have a lot more control over the situation. In a situation that for many people feels very uncontrollable until you learn how to do some of these things.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that's kind of what you're talking about, is like learning to accept all of these things and learning to get more control over like what you're doing with the information that your brain's outputting towards you.
100%.
And your thoughts don't equal who you are. They're just thoughts. And that's okay.
Because when I heard that for the first time, it was what I say I hate, or how I reacted was, oh, okay, that's just how I am.
Yeah.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do with who you are?
Yeah.
What you were given these cards, what are you going to play with them? You know?
Yep.
Like, you can't change the hand, so how do you play it? I think that is a very empowering thing.
Yeah. I tell people, and I mentioned cognitive behavioral therapy earlier. That's how I treat people, is from that perspective. And learning to get control over your thoughts, learning to quickly evaluate whether they're true or not, and then decide how you want to move forward, that is literally a superpower when you train yourself to do that.
Yeah.
Because at that point, you aren't controlled by your thoughts. You have pretty much complete control over how you respond to any situation. To me, that's a very achievable human superpower.
Yeah.
If you can unlock that. You decide how you want to move forward. You decide how you want to react to situations. And how helpful is that? It's extremely helpful. It's a superpower.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Life-changing.
Yeah. And that's a touch of the tism. Oh, you got more? Sorry.
I was just going to say, I thought that went great.
Yeah, that was cool.
I like that.
Yeah. And it tied into our rant from earlier.
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to call this episode. Therapy is good. All caps.
All caps, no breaks.
That's fire. That might be the name of it. No reference of therapy at all. All caps, no breaks. I don't know what people would expect, but it's not that.
It's not that. Guys, we've been up for almost 24 hours.
Yeah, give us a break.
Give us a frickin' break.
Forget about it. That was a good episode.
Yeah.
It's fun. We are nowhere this weekend. Weekend off, right?
Yep.
Oh, thank God. Yep. I'm using this weekend. Well, I'm gonna go see the drama again.
Nice.
I'm taking a friend, and then I'm gonna go pack, because from now until when I'm moving, I will be booked.
Yep.
every weekend.
Yep.
And I wish I could say I have begun to pack my place. I have not.
We talked about this.
Yep.
You're gonna be fine.
I think so.
Yeah.
Worst case, I'll just throw a bunch of shit away.
Or best case, always nice to downsize.
Yeah, no kidding. That's kind of what I think I need to do.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing bringing all this stuff?
Yeah.
What do I need this stuff for? What do I need? Clothes, my books, computer,
Yep.
PlayStation 3
Okay.
that I bought months ago. I
Okay.
played it once and I haven't touched it since.
All right.
I wanted it for months. I was like, oh, I want to relive my childhood. I'm going to get the PlayStation 3 and I'm going to get all these games I had when I was a kid. I played once, dude. Once. The level was like harder than I remember it being, and I was like, I think I'm okay. Ha! I felt like an adult, like an old man.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, my reflexes and hand-eye coordination are not as good as they used to be, and now these games are very difficult.
Yeah.
So I played some Madden, I guess.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that was fun.
Nice.
But yeah, why do I need that? And then I never got the WWE games to like figure out moves.
Oh, I remember you talking about that.
But I just haven't had time.
Yeah.
Which is why I think I'm going to bring the PlayStation, because I will have time.
Yeah, bring it.
For now.
I mean, I'd rather you bring it and don't have time than not bring it and have all the time, you know?
I probably will never get rid of it again.
Yeah.
Because then I can watch Blu-rays on it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I love me some physical media.
Physical media is fire.
Yeah. Like, I'm a big movie guy.
Yeah.
I'll get some Blu-rays. They look cool. I like the way that a Blu-ray case feels in my hands.
Ooh, nice hard plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the artwork, bonus features. I love all that shit.
Yeah. Deleted scenes.
Deleted scenes. Game Changer, The Office, Superfan episodes. Watch them.
Yep. Gotta start.
They're awesome. I don't have Peacock anymore, but I'm thinking about it.
Ooh. I can give you my Peacock if you want.
Maybe.
Yeah, let me know.
Oh, thank you.
Of course.
But we are pulling into the station.
The Express.
How do we not use that
That's so good.
to end the episodes? Pulling into the station.
You could use both, right? Pulling in or pulling out.
Hey.
Yo.
Yeah. Oof. I was going to make a terrible joke. But I think my family listens to this.
Hi, guys. Thanks for listening.
Have a great week. We will talk to you guys next time.
Express is pulled in.
Is that what trains do? Or is that... See you guys.